Trading the foreign exchange market carries high risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Trading on margin, utilizing leverage can carry an even higher level of risk that can lead to a complete loss of investment funds. So before deciding to trade the foreign exchange market or using any of our software alert products, you should carefully and diligently consider your personal investment objectives, level of experience, and risk tolerance. There is a possibility that you could potentially sustain significant loss. You should not invest any capital or trade that you cannot afford to lose. It is your responsibility to be aware of and understand all risks associated with foreign exchange trading and to seek professional advice from an independent certified financial advisor if you have any doubts. Auvoria Prime does not exercise trading authority over your trades. You and you alone exercise discretionary trading authority over every trade.
Let's see what we have on our chart. So, housekeeping rules, right? I'm not going to be able to check the chat as much while I'm in this. So, if you have any questions, put it in the Q&A. All right, so I can get to it at that point. I am trading S&P 500, which is Standard & Poor 500 index. All right, so that's what I'm trading. I'm using a 0.01 lot size because that's the lot size that is I'm comfortable with the live account that I'm trading with right today with you guys. So just so you know, I will look at other pairs if you want me to, but my focus is on S&P today because that's how I trade. All right, so we're on this call. You guys are seeing how other people trade. I trade differently than Nate. I trade a different session than Nate. Okay, so you guys are here to see all of our different styles, and whichever one speaks to you, that's the one that you roll with. Okay, so but if you have anything that you want to put in the Q&A, please do so. Okay, and the first question is, do we have a deck shared? I don't know what that means, so please explain further. And if there is a pair you want me to look at, can you please put it in the Q&A with the time frame, all right, and what strategy you're looking at? Because even though I'm showing S&P here, I do have the dashboard, but I'm only trading the GBP pairs on the dashboard, okay? And these are the time frames I have. I threw M30 on there, but I'm not really particularly care for M30 all the time. All right, but I do have M15, H1, and H4 because the M15, the H1, and the H4 all have specific take profit and stop losses for currency pairs already listed, trying to make it easy on myself. So if I catch an alert, great. I already know what my TP and S and stop loss is going to be because I use bag entry alerts, entry method on these alerts. Strategy number 1, M15. Strategy number 2, on H1 and H4. Okay. Oh, PowerPoint slides. I was showing it earlier. Hopefully you guys saw it, but that disclaimer is just something that they gave me to read. But I believe in the recordings that disclaimer comes up before you watch the video. All right. Can I go through the indicators like moving averages? I'm only seeing this in the chat because I just happened to hit the chat. But if you want me to look at something, put it in the Q&A for me. Even the pair. All right. Give me a second. I'll look at it. So I'm going to S&P. Let me look at my setup first so I can make sure that I'm not going to miss a trade. All right. And then I'll go look at what pairs you want me to look at. Okay. So it's 9:09. I'm kind of waiting for stock market open. So here's the thing. I'm on S&P. I'm on the M5. I do either the M5 or the M1. It's whatever speaks to me today, honestly. All right. So I trade with Fibonacci levels. Okay. I trade Fibonacci levels. All right. And I do that. See, I got an error. I just got a bag entry alert just now. Okay. And I got a bag entry alert and its counter trend is between 8 and 10. However, that counter trend strategy, number 6, was applicable to currency pairs, and it doesn't always work on indices. So I am ignoring that bag entry alert right now. Why? Because it is against the trend of this time frame. Zoom out. I got more pink than green. It's a counter trend. I'm not taking the trade. And it has not been proven for it to be successful 80% or higher at a time for me to take counter trend trades between 8 and 10 on an index. That count strategy number 6 is specific to currency pairs. Okay, I haven't completed whether or not you could use that same strategy with the same high level of accuracy and success on indices yet. If anybody else has, let me know. But as of right now, I haven't heard that, so that's why I'm not doing that. Okay, just want to make sure I made that very clear. I'm not ignoring a bag entry just to ignore it. There's a reason. Um, Now, why am I on S&P on the M5 and not on the M1? First of all, I dropped a video yesterday about Fibonacci and how I use Fibonacci. It's really not that hard, okay? It really isn't if you take the time to learn it. And I'm going to go through this because this is my setup and it's an active setup right now. So I really don't want to miss this trade when it turns around, okay? Now, here's Fibonacci. I'm going to put it on here and I'm going to tell you why, okay? This is my own AIRO template on the H1. I draw fib on the H1. I zoom out. I draw for the trend. I always trade the trend of the time frame. Okay? This is how you set up a chart to see if a setup is going to take place. Low, catch the wick. High, catch the wick. Fibonacci retracement. The reason why I'm going over this is why I'm telling you why I marked the things the way I did. This is the pull. This is the trend of S&P. Here's the pullback that's occurring. Okay? It pulled back yesterday, turned around and went back up. Okay? Then it pulled back again. It came to the 61.8. These three levels are the only ones I care about because those are pullbacks. 78.6 is also part of the fib levels, but usually it will signify a possible complete trend reversal if it goes back that far. Nate teaches this in strategy 8 of the video. Okay, so we ignore 78.6 pullback and we definitely ignore 23.6. Strategy 8 of the AIRO video. I'm gonna keep saying it. Okay, this is my setup. I care about these three levels. What I did is I marked them off. Okay, I marked them off, and that's what you see here in blue. These are the fib levels from the H1 because on the M1 and in the M5, because it's going downtrend, I'm trading the pullback. I'm not counter trend trading because I'm following the trend of the time frame, which is what you're supposed to do following the AIRO rules. Okay? However, I do top-down analysis because you want to always ensure what is going on overall in the market. Each instrument is its own market. So in the S&P market, it is on a uptrend overall in the higher time frames, and it is experiencing a pullback right now. I am trading the pullback on the M5 or the M1. Okay, so I marked off the H1 fill levels so I can see where the pullback, how far are we coming back down? Okay, because I don't know how far this pullback is actually going to take place. Okay, so with that being said, I drew my fib again for the M5, and now we're on a downtrend. Catch the high, catch the low, wicks. Now I have my downtrend, and now price is pulling back from the M5, and as long as it touched 38.2 minimum, which it just did, this is a valid pullback for me. So now I am waiting for price to show me a multitude of things. Give me a down sell entry. That's all I'm waiting for now. Okay. And I have to sit here and watch it on the chart because that's what this strategy qualifies for. And whatever entry I want to get in on, it could be an MA cross, a fractal high because I'm taking sells. All right. Or a candlestick formation. Whatever it is, that's what I'm looking for. Okay. Off of the M5. I'm going to just leave that right there. And if you have any questions about what I just said on S&P, let me know. It's very critical right now because it's 9:15 and the stock market is about to open. So I'm very wary about whatever S&P is going to do at 9:30 because even though it may give me an entry, it might be a fake out. So all I got to do is watch and wait. Patience is key when you're trading. All right. Now, with that being said, that's the S&P setup. We wait. So I'm going to go to Q&A, and you're asking me to look at GBP USD bag strategy. Thank you. Okay. I'm going to look at that right now. So let me go GBP USD. All right. I have no alerts right now on GBP USD as of today. And you said bag strategy, and I believe you said M15. I don't have anything. So, and that's another thing. If you have something that I don't have, that could be very well a broker thing and not necessarily an issue with AIRO or anything like that. All of these candles and prices are different from different brokers. So, right now, I excuse me, I have nothing. But if you're asking about bag strategy, you zoom out, you're in an uptrend. So you're going to be looking for up arrows. Okay. That's all you're going to be looking for. And you possibly may get an up arrow because it's going to happen when after price comes and crosses this arrow in May here. All right. If it goes back up, it already made the low of the day. So it might come back up and give you some room. Now, when it comes back up though, how many pips to the zone are you going to have? Let's just say it happened to come right here, comes back up. How many pips to the zone do you have? 27. That'll be good. If price comes here, gives you an arrow alert going up, and you have a zone sitting on your screen, take the trade. And you got, as long as you got 20 pips to the zone, that's a clear bag entry when it happens. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Hey G. Thank you. I'm trying. My voice is going in and out, so I'm sorry, y'all. Put the fib retracement on GU. Yeah, I know. Hold up. I see it. Now, because it's on an uptrend, I'm going to make it look a little bit better to what I look for. Because it's on an uptrend, we got the pullback. We could probably get in there sooner. So let's do that. Strat 8 is what I'm going for. Lowest point below the arrow MA. Catch the wick right here. Highest point above the arrow MA before it closed again. Right here. Catch the wick. Okay? Let me confirm it. Lowest point. Highest point. Okay? Strat 8 video. I always trade with my fibs, y'all. Again, I'm a different style trader than others. And especially since a lot of times we in the US session, a lot of times currency pairs don't necessarily move the way we want to, giving you bag entry alerts. So you got to know another strategy. Now that we move this, and this is done off the M15, which is the way Nate teaches. Now, as you can see, price has pulled back, okay? And it has not hit the 38.2. Because it hasn't hit there yet, I ain't doing nothing with this yet. This is not a valid strat 8 just yet. Okay, actually, let me take that back. Here, it actually closed here previously, so this would have been the high previously. There was no pullback, no reversal, nothing like that. So then, since it didn't do anything, you just wait for it to do a new high, which it did the next time it closed again. So it closed again, and that's why this is your new high. And wait for it pullback. Don't do nothing. It's not a valid setup yet until it at least comes to the 38.2. Okay? That's how you do strat 8 video. Simple, easy. And then when you get back here, all you gotta do is wait for an arrow alert, a candlestick formation, a fractal low because it's going up. Anything that gives you MA cross, anything that gives you an indication based on price action that you could jump in for the buy. That's it. That's all you're waiting for. And then you just take it. Take it as far as it goes. Usually we take it to 0 because there's always going to be a zone in your way. But he teaches it goes to the inverse. We can go through that later on when it actually happens. It's been about 5 minutes. Let me see what S&P has done. Pull back some more. See, this is why patience is key. I ain't just jumping into no sell right now just because it even looked like it was coming down. Just because we got this resistance zone here, it's all up in this resistance zone and trying to break it. Okay, I'll wait. It might not even give me a trade today. I don't care. I'll wait because I'd rather wait patiently for a good, complete setup than to try and jump in and lose money. All right, so that's that. I'll look at Let me see. Hold on, Adrian. So how am I using the H1 fibs with the M5 fibs? I think I went over that. But if you want me to answer it again, just type the message again. But I thought I just went over that. Draw the H1, mark off the H1 levels, which is what I did here in blue, and then go to the M5 and follow the trend of the M5, which is what I did here. And now I'm trading the pullback safely because I'm trading the trend of the time frame that I'm in. Still following AIRO principles, but applying my knowledge of Fibonacci as well. So I did do a video on this on my YouTube channel. You can take a look at it because I did it yesterday and I took a live trade yesterday so I could show everybody. And if you guys were watching the bag chat, I did the same thing on Bitcoin on Saturday night. All them postings I did in there, all of y'all can go take a look at it. This is the strategy that I was using, Strat 8. Okay? So I'm just trying to show y'all that it ain't just bag entry. There's 10 different strategies. Just find the one that speaks to you. Fibonacci speaks to me because I helped Nate make Strat 8 video. I mean, strategy. Okay? So just want to make sure that that made that clear. Somebody, I know Squad is in the chat. Can somebody drop my YouTube thing there for Ann? Hi, Ann. Somebody do that for me. Whoever was Squad in the chat. All right, so Adrian, no problem, man. We got you. We got you. US 30 setup. I got y'all on the MAs. Actually, they might be familiar to y'all because they came from Hawkeye. So I'm always a student. You know, I look at everything. So I remember a long time ago, you know, Hawkeye sessions has been around for a while. They've been teaching wedges, trading, and technical analysis and a lot. And I always keep in mind things that people teach me. And in one of their sessions, they had the 3 MAs on there: 5, 13, 62. That's what they are. 5, 13, 62 EMAs. And then, of course, our lovely 200. You know, I don't trade without that 200. Let me look at US 30 for those of y'all who are interested in US 30. Let me bring that on here. Like I said, I am not trading US 30 myself, but I will bring it up here for those of you who are. So here is US 30. Okay. So with US 30, again, it's the same move, you know, same Strat 8 thing that I do. I really like Strat 8, number one, because Fibonacci is a form of technical analysis, but I'm a trend trader. So that's why Fibonacci speaks to me. I think I went too low. Let me go back right here. Catch the wick. The lowest point price closed below the AIRO MA to the highest point price closed above the AIRO MA from the last time. So this was the first time it did it. That makes this valid. Pulled back to 38.2, which was a valid pullback, and then it decided to go back up, which it did, but then it got stopped. So if there was a zone in your way, the zone would have been your first TP, and then you just wait. If you would have been like me, this is what happened to me. I forgot to set my TP, and then US 30 hit my stop loss. So that's why I was mad at US 30 last night. But that's what I should have done. So Squad knows we should have just went to the zone and stopped and then watched and waited. But it pulled back again. So this is still valid because it didn't form a new high. It didn't touch zero. Didn't do anything. Still valid pullback. Now it came to the 50. Okay. Now it's sitting on the 50 fib line. Same setup. I only care about 38.2. Only care about 50. Only care about 61.8. Those are the only three I care about. After I do that, get rid of it. I don't need it anymore. Come down to the M5. I'm coming to the M5. M5 is speaking to me clearer today. All right. So now M5, do the same setup. We're going to look at the highest point price closed above the AIRO MA, lowest point price closed below the MA before it closed again. So this is a valid setup for US 30. All right. Here we go. Valid setup. Now look at where price is doing. So price is telling me remember these very bright yellow lines. Let me make them different colors so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Let me change them to blue so you can see. Those bright colors is the H1 fib lines because you want to see what price is doing on this pullback. What happened is when price was coming down, this is the 38.2 fib line, this is the 50 fib line, and then down here is the 61.8. When price came down to that 38.2 fib line, As it was coming down, you're like, okay, it hit it, it touched it, and it kept going. All you doing is just seeing how far back as you're trading the retracement is price actually going. And then it stopped right here on the 50, which you saw on the H1. And it kind of hung around and it's turning around and going up again. Now, here's the thing. US 30 is giving me a fractal low, which is looking nice. And then I also look like we might get a cross right here. I want two confirmations before this thing tells me I can go to the zone. Okay? Two confirmations. Fractal high is great coming off of a resistance. Nice, because we looking for sales. Why are we looking for sales? Ooh, wait a minute, my bad. Sorry, we ain't looking for sales yet. This is a real thick resistance zone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, we ain't looking for sales. We looking for up. I'm talking about sales. Nope. Turn that around. Sorry, y'all. Let me fix that. We gotta look for buys. Thank you, Adrian, for bringing this up. I was still thinking we were on a downtrend. So hold up. We got price close above the arrow MA. I need this to go up and then close below before this is a valid move. Sorry, we need to draw for the uptrend on this one. So this is how it would look. Lowest point below the arrow MA here. Highest point right now here. Sorry, it's very small. I was thinking we still on a downtrend on US 30 and S&P's on a downtrend. Know your markets. So we have a high. Oh, okay, so next time this pulls lower, it might be a valid to go back up again once it closes below. So this is the setup for US 30 right now. Completely different setup. All right. We're going up on US 30. It could be that it's just saying that and it might turn around and just obliterate anything I just said. I don't know. I can't predict the market, but I'm going to go to the M1. Look at how the M1 is looking. And is the M1 on a downtrend? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I don't know what US 30 want to do today. I got the M1 on a down, M5 on a up, and everything's an overall uptrend. I honestly would just stay away from US 30 today and let it decide what it wants to do. That's what I would honestly do. But that's US 30. And let me go back to my S&P because now that we saw that, let me confirm where we at on the M1. All right, yes, M1 down, M5 down, yeah. S&P is playing right. M15 up, that's all right. That's okay. We still just trading the pullback. But it already came to 61.8. Remember this last line right here is 61.8 from off of the H1. It already came back and touched that signifying pullback. If it go any further, like right here, this is 78.6. This is not a pullback anymore, and it's just a possible trend reversal. So it could be changing its mind today too. Just gonna have to wait and see and look. All right, so hopefully that answered a question about S&P and on US 30. Let me look at that GU. Yeah, coming down nice. Okay, real nice. Let it come over here and touch that so we can hop on back in there again. All right, so hopefully Eve, I answered your questions. 513 and 62. Pia, same. All right. You know it. Appreciate that. Brand, I appreciate that. I sure was. I always keep everything people teach me. Uh, and what EMA? All at 513 and 62. And they're all EMAs. Let's see. Thank you, Brockery. Um, Gold. Y'all want to look at gold, huh? And then hold on one second. Let's see, Wilfredo. Good morning, Wilfredo. GJ 15. Okay, cool. I'm gonna jump to GJ real quick because I'm thinking it might be similar to GU, but let's just take a look. Yep, very much so. Very much, very similar. All right. So again, we could get that same upward movement. Let's check and see. Let me check my trend. So we got 3 up and we got 1 pink. We on an uptrend. As far as my broker is telling me, I'll put that in there. So same thing. We ain't got no bag strategy, but it's a similar setup as GU. So I'm pretty happy about that. We got the arrow MA. Okay. Same thing. Throwing a fib on. Lowest point right here. Highest point right here. It's actually pretty nice when I ain't got all that other stuff on there, so you can just do your setup. and really easy. And then now you're just looking back and just trying to see how far it's going to pull back. It'd be real nice if it hits this 38.2 right here. Why? Because you got the support zone right here. Let it bounce off the support zone. Excuse me. Turn around and go back up again. 9:30 market open. So let me just check and see what craziness is happening right now. Look at that move going up. Look at that move going up. I'm gonna zoom in so y'all can see. Uh, there we go. Ooh, well, y'all saw that resistance zone just got obliterated. There will be no strap 4 set up today, by the way, because it ain't on the M15, it's on an uptrend. On the M5, it's on a down, and we will be doing it off the M15, which is way above. So ain't no strap 4 breakout today. So that resistance zone got obliterated, changing it to now 3 to 2, still being considered a downtrend, but I feel like that downtrend is weakening. But it has pulled back to 38.2. So we would just let that go. I'm very wary about this right now. Very wary with it knocking that zone out and possibly wanting to come back, especially since US 30 was turning more to a uptrend. Very wary about them too. Even though they're different instruments in different markets, they do typically move in a similar fashion. So when US 30 is doing something, I keep an eye on it to see what S&P is doing. Not the meaning that you just trade a certain way because of it, but it's always nice to have that correlation in mind because they are US indices. So I'm very worried about that thing right now, though, especially with all these rejections on this 32. So we'll see what happens. 38.2. And then y'all wanted me to take a look at gold. So let's go take a look at gold. But you got to tell me what time frame on gold, by the way, because I seen Nate be on the M5. Um, Yes, my dear, when I don't see a bag strategy, I go ahead straight up default to the fib. Cause the fib can get me in a trade. It's just how to do it. Like when I want to get in the trade. I usually take the fibs off the H1. I'm only down here on the M5, see if I can cop a trade with everybody. But let me look at that. I'm wary about that right now. I'm very leery about what S&P is doing right now. Um, where is gold? Let's see. Gold, gold, gold. So anybody, you know what? Anybody was trading gold this morning, or actually during the London session? Who jumped in on the London session, and how y'all feel about that? It looked like there was a lot of movements going on today. Where's my gold at? I just thought I just had it. Ugh, hide everything except where's my gold? See, I don't know why it didn't show. Okay, show. There it is. That in chart my template. Here we go. All right. Oh, I was messing with gold apparently. I got all my stuff on here. All right, so what we looking at on gold, you guys? 15-minute. Here I'm gonna post the link in the chat that people did for my, and I appreciate that, squad. So you guys can go over that trade, and I kind of go through the same steps I just did here. So thank you, Broccoli and squad. Okay. So 15-minute gold. Let's see here. Now, the gold off the 15-minute, I have not necessarily traded it that way, especially since it's such a volatile. Um, oh, geez, look at this mess. Look at this mess. Gold is ranging right now. So I will just say this to you guys: when a fib works, because it's you're measuring trends, it ain't that great when an asset is ranging like this. So this is ranging. Look, it's playing between certain levels. I can literally draw a line for the box right there. There's your box right there. It's just staying in that box. It ain't coming out yet. So this, you gotta wait for a breakout. And then when your breakout is done, then you can start drawing the fib again. Okay? Because then you got to move like this to draw. Okay? So right now, off the M15, is in a box. Not necessarily a consolidation box, but I guess you can call it that. But it's in a box. But I noticed that Nate trades off the M5. So let's look. If we on an uptrend, let me go to the bottom here and see what gold is doing. All right. How far are we? We on a downtrend on the M1, okay? But on the M5, we on an uptrend. I take it on the M15, we on an uptrend. So the M1 is the one that's being different right now. So with that being said, let this M1 finish obliterating this resistance zone like it wants to do, and then I would be a lot more comfortable, trading it. Even though top-down analysis is telling you it's on an uptrend and the M1 is just being different, it's just that when I trade off of the M5 or whatever and the M1, I'm looking at everything. So let me actually get rid of this fib. I was all over gold apparently, and I didn't even remember. All right, so let me go back to my S&P. Yep, look at that. Kept on coming on back. Let it keep going. See? Patience. And then sometimes it may pull all the way back, and that's okay. That's quite all right. I'm not looking for buys on S&P. I'm looking for sales on S&P because of the way the time frames are set. US 30 was the one that was looking for buys. So whoever watched that setup and you got something there, you might be looking pretty good. Let me know if you did. All right, so here's the M5. Let's do it. Zoom in. See, I can see the range right here. Here, boom, 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 boom. Very tight, very tight. Almost like a wedge, I guess you could say. Breakout, okay? And then it came down and made a move. There's some bigger moves here. And then it looks like it wanted to just start to stay within a box. It's that same box you see on the M15. Now, we're on an uptrend too. So here's how, I'm going to show y'all something. This is how you disqualify a fib as well. So we on an uptrend. Say we coming in here right now. Lowest point below the MA, arrow MA highest point, right? Right here. Right here. Here's your upward movement. Here's your pullback. Disqualification right here. Okay? Soon as it touched this 78.6, disqualified. We don't even look at them. I don't even care if it turns around and goes back to zero. Because more times than not, it won't do that. It'll actually just fake you out, turn around and drop again. Okay? Because these wicking out right there is exhausting itself, but it might turn around, get some strength, and pull back down again. I'm not familiar with gold as well, but what I'm saying is usually when that happens, getting a fake out at some point. Okay? More times than not, and it might work out in our favor right here. That's fine. I disqualify 78.6. That's also what Nate teaches in his Strat 8 video. Okay? So that's how that would work there. Um, let's see here. Hey, Gianni. I know I didn't answer it. Do I use RSI levels when I trade any strategies? Somewhat. I have a thing about the RSI. I really don't like that indicator. Family knows. I have not had consistent success with RSI. That's why. Me personally. So I could throw it on there because shout out to Cash who has renewed my interest in the RSI. He has done that for me. So Cash Harris, a shout out to you for that. But I'll throw it on here and I'll see if what price is doing. But I really don't like it in the sense of the way I trade in forex. It might be a little bit different than something else, but right here I don't really particularly care for it. But that's other than that. But I would scalp with it. So there is a strategy that I use for scalping on it, but it's not with these levels. But again, that strategy is only like 70% winning accuracy, and I tend to ignore strategies if it's not 80% or higher. So that's the only reason. But I know there's plenty of people who like love the RSI and they be winning, and more power to them. um Let's see here. Uh, let me. There we go. So Danielle, I'm gonna post that in the chat for you. But here you go, darling. There you go. So I posted that. Gotcha. Just sent that right to you. Okay. All right. So then when I don't see a setup on the H1, do I just drop down to the M1 or M5 and get the pullback? So if I see a setup on the H1, what time frame do you enter on? So I trade the time frame of entry. So like for instance, let me get rid of gold because gold not speaking right now. Let me leave S&P right there. Let me look at GU. GU just taking this little itty bitty time apparently. GJ, you move faster. There you go, GJ. It moves a little faster. Come on down here. Let's get us a move going. Um, let me throw. Let me put S&P back on here so that you can see. So S&P H1 is what I typically would trade. So like this up arrow that happened last week, that's a bag entry. Bounce right here is your bounce. Arrow, go. Bag entry, strat 2 of arrow. However, when you trade indices, there is no recommended TP or stop loss. All right, so you kind of have to gauge it yourself. If you have not traded S&P or any of the indices before, there ain't no recommended type profit or stop loss, no matter what time frame you on, because the arrow strategies are not necessarily applicable to indices. You can use them, but the recommended TP and stop loss is for currencies only, because that's what Nate teaches. Right? When you come on in indices and stuff like that, you got to get used to how price is moving. Me personally, if I'm down on the M5, I go for like 20 to 50 pips, depending on how price is moving, and then I dip. If I'm on the H1, I'm shooting for like 125 to 200 pips, seeing how it moves. So case in point, here's a bag entry alert right here. Let me zoom in so you can see that candle, whether or not that candle was bearish or bullish. So we got a bullish movement coming off of this thing here too. That's engulfing. We got a doji. Well, that might be turning around. Okay, S&P. When I was down on a sell on the M5, and look how bullish it's turning this hour. That's why you wait. Um, this was a bearish candle. So what you would have done is you would have got in like right around here, maybe. Spread probably would have put you up here, and you would have had a little bit of drawdown. Got about 28, let's say 30 pips drawdown. All right. In this instance, my stop loss would have been right here, the support zone, 188 pips, right? 188 pips, and then you go up. It ran up 287. You already got a risk to reward ratio of one, a little bit more than 1 to 1, right? However, if there was a zone there, usually just take it to the zone. But it might not, if there was no zone there, it probably got obliterated right here. Maybe it came up here, but still look how high it ran up. 435 pips before it dropped. That's a bounce arrow go. And especially if you use the fib on it and you know where actually the zero fib level is on the fib and you had no zone, you could have rolled that entire trend. I just showed y'all how to use the fib. So drawing it, and you know either a zone or the zero fib level is TP. If there's a zone in your way, just take it to the zone. If there's no zone, minimum TP is 0. You know, because price has to come back to 0 to what? Go back and restart its trend. It has to come all the way back to 0, which will be up here, to then go further beyond. That's just plain logic. It has to, because otherwise, how you get a higher high? It goes back to where it started and creates a new one. That's all the fibs show you. Okay. So with the entry on the H1, I would have stayed on the H1. I typically would stay off of this time frame because I like bag entry alerts off the H1. I ain't got to sit here. I ain't got to worry about it. And a trade like that is like 430 pips. That means I ain't got to trade for like 3-4 weeks, you know, because I only catch 75 to 100 fish per week. So that's how I take my trades off the H1, and it worked. I do not do counter trend trades off the H1. I'm not a counter trend trader. That's me. There are other people that probably counter trend trade all their life and be happy with that. It don't work for me. So always speak to what works for you. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give you an example of a fake out. This is how you spot a fake out. Okay? Fib, low, high. Okay? Possible fake outs. This down entry right here, when it came down, pulled back, came down to the 61.8. 61.8 is like a golden ratio, right? A lot of people think that once it hits there, you can take that 61.8 and go back to zero. Typically, you can. More times than not, you can. However, this is what happened. It came up, gave me a up arrow, right? Gave me a up arrow, and then what it do? Faked me out and came back down. What you could use when that is the moving averages and just watching the moving averages to see how much of a push you actually have. But once that thing crossed back that moving average, I would have hopped out. I would have not let this thing happen to me. Okay? That's one thing to how to get your behind out of a fake out off of the H1. Let the MAs, like even if price grows below the arrow MA again, get out. That's a way to get out of it without hitting a stop loss or anything like that off of a bounce arrow go. Okay, but I didn't even have a support zone here, so I wouldn't have took that arrow as a bounce arrow go. All right, it just depends on what your broker is, but that's how I handle the H1 trades. Let me go check S&P now after this bullish run that it did this hour. Okay, as it keeps pulling back, that's fine. And here's the 200 EMA right here. Now I always say the 200 EMA is like a magnet. Okay, it pulls price back. The price is attracted to it. I guess as you want to say. I always say it's like a little magnet. So having it pull back, I'm happy. Because if this thing wants to continue on this downtrend, this 61.8, and I get in on a sell from here, I'm excited. Because when I do, let's just see it gets around here and you catch a sell, we going to the zone. That's 185 pips. You only need 75 for the week. Maintaining your little trading plan. Maybe if you want to be aggressive, you only need 150. This one trade will secure me for the week. That's why I wait. Let it keep on. Let it do its bullish run. That's fine. See this 5? Or it's crossing over to 62. Beautiful momentum. Got some power behind this. And then you got this 13 getting ready to cross too. Some momentum. Let it push on back. Now, if it pushes back to the 78.6, I'm going to be mad. Because then it invalidates this move. So I want it to stop right here, okay? I want it to come to this 200 as a magnet and then let the 200 be a form of resistance to make it turn around and bounce back down again, okay? Let me check on GJ. Yeah, GJ. The reason why I came to GJ is because GJ moves faster than oh, I'm losing my voice. GU. So that's why I'm looking for that, all right? Yeah, see? GU is just delaying itself. But see where the 200 is? We want that magnet. We want that pullback. So come on, GU, stop playing. GJ with the move. Let me see where the pullbacks is on this, because I ain't threw my template on here. Ah, there we go. That 200, look at that. Come on. Look at that move. Why does my fib look different? Okay. Yeah, okay. Oh, okay, I see that, and it didn't move. Okay. Sorry, I want to make sure. I'm like, where my fib look different? See, that says it's touching the 38.2, so it just did this. Okay, that's good. One lowest point. Okay, yeah, not those. Lowest point, high, pull. Valid pullback. Strat 8. Valid pullback. So on GJ, we're going to look for a buy. We on an uptrend, 3 red, okay? We're going to look for a buy. And the good thing about this is you might be able to get into the buy before the arrow alert come, okay? Because the arrow alert's not going to come until after price comes above this arrow in May again. You got some ways, all right? So now we might be able to get in, and I'm not getting a bounce. So I think on all the previous calls, you know how I'm like, man, I ain't got no bounce. I ain't got nothing to go off of. That's why I went to this fibs again. I'm like, I could trust my fibs, you know? So I could now get into a trade safely because I got my fibs on here versus me just waiting for a bounce. Okay. So, and then the arrow alert, when it comes, it will just tell me I got additional momentum in my favor. Okay. So, and not necessarily just because of the bounce. So I'm waiting for the buy. We're gonna see what we can get this buy on here. And all you're doing is looking for multitude of things. I could look for MA cross, which is might not happen because they're spread apart. So this thing might keep going down. That's perfectly fine. All right, we got this push. We got a nice push going on. Um, so I might not get in right there. Let's see what else we might looking for. I might get a fractal low. Probably ain't gonna take it. I want two confirmations. I want a fractal low and I want an MA cross before I jump in this thing. Or fractal low, candlestick formation, or candlestick formation, MA cross. Something that gives me two confirmations telling me it's time to jump in. Okay. I like two. One, it's okay. Two makes you feel stronger about your trade. All right, let me check the Q&A real quick. No, I didn't say GU would drop further. I said it has the potential to do so. Okay? It has the potential to do so. Um it has not completed a pullback necessarily because it has not pulled back to this 38.2. So it may not pull back. I have no idea. But we got some pressure saying that it may. Yes, I'm looking for a buy on GJ. Uh, one, I'm not sure, Ernest, if that's actually the price. Um, I'm just looking for a buy, period. So I don't trade just off of the fib level. Okay, if I'm looking at GJ right now, I'm not trading just off of the fib level, but it can come to this 200 and still go past it. You know what I'm saying? If it closed below that 200, that gives me a little indication that it's probably still going to keep coming down for a while. It might. But I would like for it to at least come and touch it and nick it a little bit or something like that. But I don't know. I can't guess what the market is going to do. I'm just going based off of analysis and how things typically move. Okay. But that does sound about right, what you said, what you wrote. It sounds about right. Um, Let me jump on my S&P again. Let me see where we at. We passed the 50. That move is strong. We got 7 minutes left in this hour. Touch that 200 and come back around and get me in my cell. You exhausting yourself. That's nice. Whoever is from S&P that's listening to this video, just help a sister out and get me in my trade. um, okay. Let's see here. The EMAs are 5, 13, and 62. You're quite welcome, Ernest. You're quite welcome. You're quite welcome, y'all. Hopefully this is helpful to you guys. Um, it's slow. And I think you guys would probably see it would be slow, number one, because all of them did these massive moves yesterday. Okay, so that right off the bat would tell you that today might be a little bit slow because of what's happening. But I can always count on my indices moving. I just need them to move in the direction that I want it to move. Now that's interesting. See how that was a counter trade at that time. And did it go 20 pips? It did go 20 pips. So that's actually a nice indication that's one. I'm going to track this. If I can keep getting counter trend trades and it starts to hit more than 80% winning accuracy, I might do those more often now. Usually I test a strategy by like doing 100 trades on it on one instrument. That's how you confirm a strategy works. You do 100 trades on the same instrument to verify winning accuracy. So if I do 100 trades on that between the 8 hours of 8 and 10, I get a counter trend arrow on indice on the S&P and it's 80% or higher. I'll be doing that going forward too. I just haven't been able to actually confirm that test. All right, so we got this candle and then 5 minutes left. We got another one that's turning down. I got this 13 crossing over to 62. I still got pressure going up. So we'll see what happens. But it's real close to that 200. That's looking nice. GJ, what you doing, GJ? Okay, you sitting on that support zone. That's perfectly fine. Would like for you to come a little bit lower. The lower you go, the more pips I can make to the zone. So we'll see. Yep, that's a 200 EMA. Um, no, Verna, I didn't do a fib fan video yet. I did not do the fib fan, not yet. I'm still working on it though. It's almost like a combination of the fib and trend lines. And and then for those of y'all that know, I can't draw trend lines, but that was doing it for me. So I'll let you know when I drop a video for it after I gain more experience with it. I just got introduced to it like a week ago. So I'll get back to y'all on that though. But it looks nice though. It looked like it could be very helpful to me. Um you want me to look at NAS? Sure, I could look at NAS. What strategy did I just say for indices between 8 and 10? Strat 6, counter trend strategy between 8 and 10 a.m. Eastern time. That's specifically for currency pairs. And I would love, and but again, anything that AIRO you could use on an index, but you have to utilize your experience in order to determine, take profits and stop losses because there isn't any recommended for those. There ain't really any recommended for gold either. But I think I seen Nate do like 50 pips or something like that, or 20 to 25 pips. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But but that's what we're looking for. We're looking for this setup. So if it keeps hanging out right there, this is actually really nice on GJ because it's creating a new low of the money zone. Okay, which could possibly is not necessarily the low of the day. See, here's the low of the day so far, right here. This is just the low of the money zone. Okay, and by the way, I believe this is a strat four that took place on this thing during the beginning of the money zone, y'all. So strat four works on anything. So we zoom out. You want an uptrend, right? So you zoom out. What you do is you mark. This is for y'all to try tomorrow. You mark off the high of the previous day's money zone right here. This is strategy four of AIRO. Okay. You mark off the high of previous day's money zone off of the M15. And the very first candle that closes above the money zone in the new money zone, you could then take the trade on the next candle. And I believe it's to the zone. As long as there's 20 pips to the zone, you good. That same rule should apply. So let's go through this. This right here would be that candle. This is your trade candle. So, and that's a bullish candle. So you're going to come in, probably be right here. When you get in, you probably got a little spread. Maybe get you not right at the beginning of the candle. You might get in right here. You got some drawdown, about 4 or 5 pips. Yep, about 4 or 5 pips. And then what did it do? It ran up. Ran up to the zone, 46 pips. You only need 20. GJ, money zone breakout, strat 4. Okay? Matter of fact, I'm going to just tell y'all right now, tomorrow morning, I'm getting up and I'm going to do these strat 4s because I'm missing out on pips. Now, I'm not probably going to be up for the London session. I'll probably just stay up just for something like this and then go to bed. But that was 46 pips. Okay? 46 pips. By the time London session started and then it dropped. Come on, y'all. Not just the bag strategy. All 10 strategies of AIRO is powerful. Powerful. And by the way, if GJ did it, let's see if GU did it. Nope, it did not. We have that zone sitting in the way. GU did not do it. So GJ wanted to be his own person today. And the other G's, I'll probably take a look at it. But then you got the Asian session breakout too. That might not have necessarily qualified. I think he said the body. Didn't he say the body? I keep remembering. I just went through these over the weekend because I was going through some things. I watched one of Nate's other videos. GJ off the M30 as a sell. That's okay. That just tells me that this move was strong enough for the M30 for it to turn into a sell. That's okay. Strat 3. Here's your channel. The Asian channel is the way you want to call it. The low and the high. All right. And you measured it. 32 pips was less than 50, so it would have been cool. First candle of that breakout. See, you go for 20 pips. So GJ followed that same rule. Here's like a first candle breakout close. Let me make sure that is a bullish candle. right here. Yep, it is closed above it. Get in it. Let's see here. If you got in, you've got it. Probably had some. You going to get in for a buy. It became bearish. But if you got spread, you might have been in here. Got about 8 pip. Ran it up 20. That's two strategies that happen on GJ at the same time. If I'm awake, I would take two positions for each strategy. Come on, y'all. I just showed y'all that was like 30 pips on that one, 40 pips on the first one. That's a 70 pip uh trade off of GJ first thing in the morning. And then if it's really saucy, you just take it to the zone. That's 80 pip trade. I'm mad that I was asleep. I'm mad that I was asleep for that. But that's Asian session strat 3, strat 4. They only apply to the GBP pairs. This is GU still taking its time, but it's dropping. That's all right. Taking its time, it's dropping. What's S&P doing? So S&P gave me a fractal high, came as close to this 200 as it could, but it's rejecting off of this 50 fib line. That's fine. Ooh, I'm losing my voice. I'm sorry, you guys. Fractal high. So now I want to see if I can jump in for a sell based off of a cross or something like that, or give me a candlestick formation. This is not a candlestick formation. This is not engulfing. This candle right here is not engulfing the previous one, so I cannot take that one. If it was above it and encapsulated this entire candle, then that would be considered engulfing. But it is not, so this is not a candlestick formation I would go for. I'm actually not even seeing a pattern per se, except for maybe this. This is turning into one. I forget what this is called. It needs to close fully though. I need this, yeah. It needs to stay like that for the next 3 minutes. It needs to be like a full body at the bottom with the tail at the end. That could be a bearish candle formation. Yup. Thank y'all. Look at y'all looking out for me. I appreciate that. But throw that in, let's see here. Yup, Ernest, I dropped it in the chat. Somebody put the video in the chat already. How do I find the fib on MetaTrader? On this app? On your phone? I don't think you could do it on your phone, but on MetaTrader here, the fib is this Fibonacci retracement is what I'm using. There's other ones like a fan and other things, expansion, but I'm referring to the Fibonacci retracement, which is what I'm showing here. It's this little button right here. NAS and Bitcoin. GBP is the weakest on the currency heat wave. That's why some downward pressure against all other currencies. Thank you, G-Man. Appreciate that. Good looking out for the family. All right, so I'm sorry, I have you waiting on NAS, so I'm gonna switch to something else. Y'all keep an eye on this for me. Keep an eye on that, okay? You see that candlestick formation? Those of y'all who've been studying the candlestick Bible, okay? It needs to have that body at the bottom with the tail behind it. That close that way. That will be a bearish candlestick formation. If not, well, we got 1 minute. I can sit here and wait. Let me make sure shoot, if that thing does that, let me see how much I'm going to be risking if it does fail. Rejection off of here. So 61.8, that's 82 pips as I'm possibly, 82 pips is what I'm possibly risking jumping in this thing. Yeah, it's turning bearish for sure. By the way, this fractal is not confirmed until this candle closes. Okay, so don't jump in until this candle closes to confirm this fractal high. It has to be the 5 candles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now it's a confirmed fractal low. All right, and I got my, yeah, not yet. Because this ain't a candlestick. This is not a candlestick formation I'm going to get in on a trade on. Okay, I got my fractal low. That's cool. It did not test the 200. Okay, that's another thing I would have waited for. I got a couple of rejections off of the 50. That's cool. Some people might have jumped in off of that. They all right for that. That's just not me. I'll wait. Mm-hmm. Exactly. I'll wait. So let's see. You turning bullish again? Don't give me railway tracks. Mm, if you coming back up, I want another rejection off that 50. Then we could probably talk about it again and just hopping in off of the rejection. So keep an eye on that for me, y'all. We got 5 minutes for that. Somebody said Nas. I'm sorry to make you wait on Nas. Let me bring it up. All right, let me bring it up. It's a slow day today. Like I said, hopefully this information is helping y'all. It seemed like we just gonna do more setup than anything, but these setups is gonna be nice, especially the GU and the GJ setup. That's gonna be beautiful, because if you use Strat A, my risk and reward ratio is gonna be way less, and I'll show y'all in a second. Matter of fact, let me look at GJ. Yeah, that's gonna be nice. Let that pull back. Look at that. As long as it pulls back and you don't have a zone in your way, it could go to the inverse from where it pulled back. But as far as that zone is there, we only go into the zone. That's what me and Squat say. To the zone, people. Let's see here. So that was that. Let's go to Nas. All right. So what did you want me to look at on Nas? I mean, I'm just gonna do my just general. Can Strat 10 be used with the fib? You know what? I mean, yeah, any other strategies can be used with the fib. The fib is just going to give you a visual look of where the trend is and how far back prices pulled back. You know, the fib is just measuring the price action for you based off the trend. But you could use that on any of the strategies. But I wouldn't necessarily like Strat 10 is the bank induction, but you got to be in the market, got to know where you're at in the market maker cycle for that bank induction to be valid as well. So just keep that all in mind when you're looking at them. And 7, 9, and 10, like I'm actually still studying. I have not completed 100 trades on those yet. So I can't necessarily say I'm completely confident, but y'all will be proud of me. I have been drawing wedges. So squad didn't know I can't draw for nothing. But I have been drawing wedges, but 7, 9, and 10 all work together from what I saw. The market maker cycle, the bank induction, knowing your M's and W's, all three match together. So, master all three of them, basically you dominate the markets pretty much. So here's Nas over the H1. So very first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to zoom out, see what trend we on. We on an uptrend clearly. All right, so when I'm drawing it for the uptrend, we got the same pullback. Nas, all three indices did the same thing. Lowest point below the AIRO MA, highest point above the AIRO MA. Same thing, draw, draw, draw. This move invalid. Why? Because it came to the 78.6 right here. 2 rejections off. Invalid for the fib. Okay, so I can't take a trade based off of the fib off the H1. That's all that means. Doesn't mean there's not another setup there. It just ain't there for the H1 for a fib strat 8 setup. Okay, but you could be setting up for a bag entry alert. I have no zone. It's bouncing off of this 200 though, but I don't have no zone for it to touch for me to take a bag entry alert. So I can't do that. All right, and I can't do a fib. So you might have to look for something else. And I ain't got no other cross under the 200. So a lot of strategies are becoming invalid for NASDAQ off the H1 for me based on what I see on my chart because of my broker. If you see something different on your chart, always trade what you see following the strategies. But the down on the M5 though, I would come down to the M5. You can kind of see more what's going on. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So we on a downtrend even for them. So any down movement that I try and measure is invalid. I can clearly see it because this thing already came 100%. So days like this, when the indices want to mess around like that, ain't no point trying to find trades. Just let the trades come to you. And today may not be that day. See, we on a downtrend on the M5, but the M1 want to show we on an uptrend. Nope, they don't know what they want to do today. Rather just ignore it and then or find another way to scalp it if you want. But I would ignore especially NASDAQ. I would ignore NASDAQ today. Only one that was playing right was S&P that was following all the rules. That's why I was just looking at just that. Okay. Fib levels are standard. I know Nate has, if you watch the Strat 8 video, Nate has updated the fib levels. All they did was round them. So all my fib levels are standard: 38.2, 50, 61.8, 78.6. What Nate does: 38, 50, 62, 79. That's what he does. 23.6 is also a standard fib level, but I don't have it on my chart because I don't care about it. I do keep 78.6 on there because I need to see to invalidate fib setups. That's why. Let me check that GJ. Oh, we on GJ. Nice. It destroyed that support zone. Nice. Come on down, GJ. So let me just talk to y'all for a second. Wait a minute. Where's my S&P? Yeah, look at that. All right. So I want y'all to look at this for a second. We got the fractal high. It came down. It does not get confirmed until this candle closes, which it did. This candle that closed was not a candlestick formation to get into a bearish move yet. So I did not take that trade. All right. I also did not have a MA cross yet either. It tried to fake me out. I would only take that trade if the candle closed on the cross. It did not. Okay. And then look at this next one. Now this one is. Okay. But I have this fractal low that's formed now. So with that fractal low being there, I'm questioning this candle. This candle is going to confirm that it's a fractal low. Remember, fractals, all they do is just signify a change in price direction. Okay. But with this fractal low being here, and now it's trying to cross over this MA cross, I would want this candle to have a lower low than this fractal to invalidate this. Otherwise, this is telling me the price is trying to push back up again. It may come down. I may have my MA cross, but you got to utilize everything that you're seeing to infirm that you're taking a trade. And the reason why I do all this stuff is because I'm trying to make sure that I don't lose no money. You know, I'm very serious about my trading. I'm very particular about my trades. You got to be, you got to not necessarily be precise, but to the best of your ability, minimize your risk. Don't just jump into a trade just because it looked good, because you're going to blow your account. I know because it's happened to me multiple times. Okay. See, that's why I don't jump in. So now I gotta wait. Still gotta wait. All right. This is GJ looking good. We got a valid fib set up right now. So we cool. Okay. Um, so we just gonna wait. We just gonna wait. And the reason why that's a valid fib setup is because this is your low off of a support and this is your high. This is price closed below the AIRO MA here, and then it went up here, and then it closed down below. And it already pulled back enough to make this invalid, this move. It already pulled back enough to make this move invalid. All right. This is your move. Okay. That's your move. And the reason why also is when you first come in to try and catch your move, this is how you would read it. I'm going to go through this one more time. This will be your high. Okay. What you're doing is you're looking for the very first setup of the day and then go from there. So this is the first, when price today, the new day, price closed below the AIRO MA right here, this fib setup is valid. It came back. It did not retrace to any valid fib line for a pullback, and then it went back up again. It closed below again. Okay, so then you move your high. Your high would be right here. Same thing. It didn't do anything. Didn't pull back or nothing. So then it came back up and it did it again. Right here. You move it. Didn't pull back doing anything. Then it did it again. And by the time you did it, that's how your high moves. That's how you move your high on the fibs. Okay? Because you always want to come into the new day, which this is the new day. This period separator right here is the new day. Okay? When you come into the new day, that's when you look for your very first closure below the AIRO MA if you're on an uptrend, or the closure above the AIRO MA when you're on a downtrend. Find your very first setup with a fib, and then start moving it. Doing your validations. Now, this is how you proved that this is the move, and this is how you proved this is a valid pullback. Now that this is a valid pullback, you're looking for your buy entries now. That's all that that means that I just went through. Okay? So hopefully that helped there too. But we're just going to wait. And where's GU doing? It's straight. Okay, so you see all these candles right here, this little consolidation that's going on, this little box? Breakout needs to happen. We need to break out either, and I want it to break out to the downside because we want to get this valid pullback. Okay, so let's see here what we got in the chat. Okay, so the little arrows on my chart are called fractals. Let me see here. CAD JPY. Okay, I can look at that. Okay, CAD JPY on what time frame? And did you get an alert? Let me know. Okay. So I can show this fractal thing. So to get the fractals, it's insert, indicator, Bill Williams, fractals. Okay. Click on it. It's just going to give you a color because it's based off of the standard Bill Williams fractal. Hit OK and it'll appear on your chart. That's how you get these little arrows. Okay. So what are we waiting for? Is an up arrow to get into GJ? What you're waiting for is a candlestick formation, a up arrow alert, or a fractal low, a MA cross. You're looking for anything that's going to signify to you to get in as a buy. That's what you're looking for GJ on that one to get you in sooner. Now, wait a minute now. Is this a railway track? Let me look at that. I'm on GJ again. That is a possibility. That is a possibility. Let me hop in there on that one because that might give me what I need to hop in. Let me see. Ooh, it's turning engulfing. So this is the current candle. We got 12 minutes left in this candle. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, we just looking for any opportunity to give you a buy. Whatever indication will give it to you. And for, I think it was Gianni that brought out the RSI, for instance. Jackie hit the right way. RSI. So I'll throw the RSI on there. RSI is at 35, 36. Signifying we might be might be able to turn around here for a buy. Okay. So again, I don't necessarily use it, but I've figured I'd throw that on there for those of y'all who do. But I can see why you might be seeing this as a turning bullish. Okay. So that's what I'm looking for on GJ. All right. So that's actually really nice there. And I jumped to that because of what I saw on GU. This. I said, oh, okay, GU. You not even pulling back no more. You are turning around and going up. So we'll see what happens there. I don't necessarily consider that engulfing either. I guess you can. It kind of took that whole thing up. We'll see. But if it comes up to this arrow MA, and we got nice pippage to the zone too. So that would be nice setup, possibly. If you guys have a zone, hopefully a zone pops up for me in that instance. All right, so CAD yen, what was it in the time frame? Check GU and GJ for a sniper entry off of the M1. You know what? Let me see. They're on a downtrend on the M1. I know what you're saying. I don't want to get caught though in a. I don't want to get caught in a sense on an entry and it just starts to turn around and go completely against me. I would rather do that if the M1 was on an uptrend. Um, Family, Ernest needs the Candlestick Bible. Can somebody drop that for him in the chat? And if they can't do it, Ernest, just DM me and I can send it to you. Um, that's the only way, G man. Why I'm not comfortable when the M1 is on a different trend than here, cause literally got me in trouble last night. That's why I ain't trying to do it today. um, you know what? I don't know, Daniela, if auto trade does need to be on. Honestly, I had it on, but we'll see. Hey, CB, where you been? Let me know if you want me to bring you up. I ain't gonna bring you up if you don't want me to. But let me know. Um, Thank you, squad, for putting that out there. Okay, so we got UJ bag entry. Let's do that. M15. Yeah. Do cross UJ. Somebody said CAD J, and then somebody said Bitcoin. I'm gonna get to him, y'all. I'm gonna get to him. UJ's a major, Jackie, and then CAD J, and then Bitcoin. Bitcoin got towed up Saturday. I was having some fun on that. Bitcoin, there we go. All right. So let me go to this. USD, JPY, GJ. We got it on the 15. Do we get an arrow? We going in, down, good, go, down entry, 20 pips to the zone. Yeah, we can take that trade. I'm a little late, but we in. Yeah, let me go ahead and check that one. Sale. Thanks. Oh, come on, one click. Thanks, CB. I'll take that. Do, 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 do. 20 pips to the zone. Right there, 23. So we only need 20. Here we go. Thank you, CB. Somebody said CAD. Well, since that yen happened, let's see what CAD do. I'm assuming it's on the M15. Okay. Nope. Got nothing on CAD JPY on the M15. So I don't see anything. Just let me know. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. CB, I'll bring you up. So thank you for that entry. We'll see what happens. Yes. No, took a sell on UJ. Let me find you, CB. Hold up. Gotta find you. There you are. Okay. Found you, CB. All right, so there's that. So yeah, motion. Let me know what CAD JPY you were talking about. Um.
Hey, Jackie.
Hey, CB, how you doing?
Good.
Thanks for the shout out on the UJ. I've been
We'll see,
focusing on my GBP pairs.
we'll see if it works out. It's got a nice information with the
Mm-hmm.
bag entry. We'll see if it works out.
Thank you.
Yep.
Um, where's my GJ? There's G. Now see GJ and UJ. Interesting. That would be nice if since UJ is dropping, it would be nice if GBP JPY is as well. It would be nice since CAD is out the sky, it's melting. Um. Okay, so answer Dan on Danielle. Oh, okay, motion, no problem, no problem. And let's see. So Bitcoin, did I put Bitcoin on here? No, I didn't. What's been going on, CB?
I've been a little busy with the regular biz taking me away from trading a little bit here, but I'm back in the saddle this week.
Oh, okay, okay. How are you liking the fibs?
I love the fibs. I live with the fibs.
Yeah, somebody, I don't know if you heard me, somebody exposed me to the fib fan. I said, well,
Yeah,
that's it.
I gotta see that one. I haven't learned that one yet. So
Yeah. I'll say this is Bitcoin. Okay, so let me show y'all. So I don't know if you saw in the bag chat, I destroyed Bitcoin Saturday night.
I heard. Yeah, I actually did see that, and I was jealous.
I was like, it was just on point for me. And it was off of that fib strategy off the M1. And well now it's on an uptrend on the M1. And what is it doing on the M5? It's on a downtrend on the M5. So Bitcoin, it's on a downtrend on the H1. I wouldn't even be messing with Bitcoin. Not today.
Yeah,
Not when it don't know what it want to do.
kind of ranging right now.
Yeah, it's too much going on. You got too many time frames on different trends. So ranging. I would ignore Bitcoin right now. Ain't the move. Ain't the move. Um. Oh, okay, good. You got it. No problem. No problem. Uh. Let's see here. So hopefully they answered about Bitcoin.
Your S&P can't make her mind up here, huh?
No, man. She being mean.
Hanging out.
Yeah, hanging out. And see, and I'm glad that this is doing that though. So that people don't be thinking like, oh, she's just not trying to take no trade. I ain't trying to take no trade because you ain't gonna win.
Yeah.
I ain't taking no trade and I ain't gonna win. This ranging right here on these candles, no thank you. No thank you. Um now it wants to drop. What is the M1 looking like? Oh, good lord, that looks even worse. It really does. It look way worse.
Ugly.
Still we got downtrend happening. See on the M15 it's up. Mm, mm. Okay, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, S&P don't want to be my friend today apparently. Now, as I zoomed out, you see we got that downtrend and then it pulled back and now it's coming down and it's kind of playing on this 38.2. Mm, I don't know. See, when it pulled back right here, this is like a bullish formation right here, but it stopped and then it came back hard and it came back even harder. I don't like that. I really don't. I like it when it's a little bit maybe like this. But this is very hard. Now look at that. Now that's turning bearish, engulfing. This fractal low is not confirmed until this candle closes. And the only way that this candle is going to invalidate this fractal is if it creates a new low. So if it creates a new low, fractal low, then that thing might be coming down to the zone. Might be. In the confirmation candle. So for instance, this is how you look at that. This is my high. This is the confirmation of me thinking it's going to come back down, right? So people can hop in. Somebody would have hopped in off of the 50. It's all good and fine. Everybody's different. All right. But me, I didn't like it that that push was so strong. All right. And plus, this candle confirmation needed to be complete for this fractal to be confirmed. Okay. So, because there was nothing to tell me that this thing couldn't come all the way back up. All right. It happens. Okay. So, when that happened, this is your move. And now I'm looking for my sell, right? But then it started ranging and wicking out and it's exhausting itself. But if it comes here on this low, on this fractal, change the color. Let's make that different color that I can actually see. Here we go. Make it orange. All right. If it comes and clears that fractal and closes, I can hop in because then it's a breakout like it's about to do right now. And I had that MA cross right there too. Close. Oh, this is a 1030 candle doing this. I'm about to hop in this thing. Wick out. Where are you at on the M1? zoom out. Hold on a second, y'all. I'm trading right now. Let me think. Let me do this. Ah, it wicked out. Mm-mm. Close below this so that we can get in. And I'm only going to the zone. How many pips is it to the zone from this fractal? 30. All right, we could catch 20 pips off of this. Come on. As soon as I said it, now you want to come back. Ah, hmm. There it go. Hmm. Sorry, y'all. I'm waiting. I'm on the M1 now. I want it to close below that. Mm-mm. This is what it looks like on the M5. All right. So I wanted this to close below this, but I needed to close off the M5. I was just trying to see if the M1 was going to give it to me, but it's playing right now. Watch this thing probably do it like at the last 1 minute. Mm-mm-mm. All right. There she goes. 2 minutes in, 3 minutes left. I can't even see what that candle is. Okay. Let's turn. Oh, Mo, we gonna jump into that one. I'm in that one. Take that. Give me 20 pips. Come on. There we go. Right there. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Come on, you. Yeah. Got that nice pressure. Mm-hmm. There you go. There you go. You thingy. Don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah. Come on. You better give me my 20. Mm. I got pressure. Yeah, I got pressure. Mm-hmm. Come on, baby. There you go. Little bit more. Little bit more. Don't you wick out on me. Yeah, I know we got, yeah, come on. Don't you turn around. There you go. Mm. Don't you turn around. I got 1 minute left for that 5 minute candle. Mm-hmm. 1 minute left for this 5 minute candle. Yep. Boom. TP, baby. Yeah.
I
That's what
rode that one with you, Jackie. Nice.
there we go. Yes. Patience is a virtue. Woo. That made me feel better. That was, my dear peoples, that was a fractal breakout. Y'all saw how I did that, right? So I know people gonna be like, well, I could have been in sooner. I don't live my trades like that. Okay. I look for optimal entry that speaks to me, that fit all my qualifications to get into the trade. Okay. Now, the reason why I'm not holding it down to the zone on the M5 because I drew my fib that way is because look at this fib, look at this line right here, this blue line right here. That's the 61.8 of the S&P off of the H1. Okay. It touched that 61.8 and anything lower than that is going to be getting to the 78.6. I don't know if it wanted to come down to this zone. It may, but I wasn't sure and I wasn't playing around. But I knew it was going to come here and give me my 20. Okay? So that's why I took that trade in that way. All right? So, and that trade was utilizing all the stuff I've been talking about for the last hour and a half and caught my 20 pips. So, if you got your 75 pips for the week, you got 20 out of that. You got 55 more to go. If you do the same thing tomorrow, it's another 20. You do the same thing on Thursday, that's another 20. And if you got Friday and everything look good, that's another 20. Pips made for the week. Okay? Fibs don't lie. Fibs don't lie. And I'm glad. And see, this is why I said fibs don't lie. Look at this rejections that's happening off of this 61.8. And it's what it do? Turn around and come right back up again. Come on now. I'm doing it
Jackie,
for a reason.
that the middle blue line for the 1 hour fib, is that the 50?
Yes.
That's the 50. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do
Yeah.
you use, I mean, the 50 is not really a fib line, right? Do you utilize that though, a little bit in your analysis?
Yeah, I do. I use the I count the 38.2,
Yeah.
the 50, and the 61.8
Okay.
as valid pullbacks
Really, the
levels.
50. Okay.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard the 50 being utilized like that before. Got it. Cool.
Yeah. I know some people I know some people actually have different fib levels because I've seen 40, I think. I've seen 75. So people just use different fib levels, but I've noticed 50 counts for me for sure, especially when I was down on the M1 and I
Uh-huh.
was finding valid, I'm doing the strategy 8 off the M1 with the valid setups.
Yeah.
And the 50, every time I hit the 50 and I took it back, it's been valid pullback.
Oh, that's good to know. Yeah, you can even see it right there that it was playing with the 50 there, those
Mm-hmm.
wicks. Yeah.
Yep. All them wicks when and then, like I said, I wanted to get in around that time. And somebody probably would have got in. They were like, well, that's 3, 4 rejections. I can get in right there. And I'm like, wasn't feeling it. Only because I'm not feeling it because also I'm trading the overall pullback as well from the H1. Remember, all the higher time frames is on an uptrend. And so
Right.
right now we're trading the pullback, but just a little safer, and we're on the lower time frame.
Right.
And because of that, that's why I'm like, I don't know if it's going to go to the inverse because that inverse thing works when you're following the complete trend. So, like when Bitcoin was dropping on Saturday, all those pips I was catching is because I was going to the inverse, utilizing the fib. I was using strategy 8, but I was using it off of the M1. But everything on Saturday night was in a downtrend. So the inverse was working perfectly for that. So I wanted to make sure I throw that out there as well. So even if there was a zone in my way, I said, nah, we good. Everything was down. It was M1 and everything, and it was just obliterating any zone that came up.
Right. Oh, yeah. Mhm.
So it was a good night. It was a good night. So if anybody want to check the bad chat, and you can search my username in there, and you catch the screenshots or even the images, the media files of the bag chat. You'll see what I'm talking about, and you can see what I did with Bitcoin on Saturday, and it was off of the M1 using the same strategy. It just depends on what time frame is speaking to me that day. Today, M5 is speaking to me. M1, not so much. But then I got burnt last night. So, um, you know what that UJ that you called?
Yeah. Not
Let
doing
me
too bad.
that's moving a little nicely there.
Yeah.
Moving and like got that the break, of the net that M.
Jackie, so we're both in this trade, but what I've been doing lately, having pretty good success with, especially currency pairs during the New York session, is instead of going for 20 pips, I've
Mm.
been doubling my lot size and going for 10 pips.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay, so maybe we should push it back for 10 then, huh?
Well, I've been experimenting with a little bit. I've been having, so now I'm also shortening up, obviously, my stop loss. And the issue is now, am I going to get stopped up more often by going that direction? But so far, I've been testing it the last like 10 days or so, and it's been working pretty good.
Okay. Okay.
Just because you're
Okay.
not getting as much price movement during the New York session with these Forex pairs typically. So
True. That's a good point. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm gonna get to the Q&A, y'all, in just a second. I'm just gonna let me just look at this UJ, cause now I'm gonna throw my fib on here.
yeah,
You know I don't trade without my fib.
yeah.
So H1, I got one, two, three, four, five, six reds. I got three greens. We are on a downtrend on the H1, so that speaks highly of this sell that we're in right now. Um, Let me look at the setup where we at. Let's go. Price. Last time price closed above the arrow MA would be here. The high of that is that? Yeah, the high of this. And then it closed below. And then it didn't close higher than that pre again. So this will be that high right here. And then the next time it closed below the arrow MA, which is here. And then the trend, this setup, strat 8 is now a valid setup because this candle closed above the arrow MA again. This is off of the H1, by the way. Okay. So I'm on the H1 and I see this and it pulled back to what? 61.8, y'all. Valid pullback. Okay. Valid pullback. So now what you would do if you were on H1, you see how you probably about to get a bag entry alert? You probably about to get one off the H1, but I don't have no zone. So I can't take it as a bag entry myself. So that's why I look for other ways to get in. So you had this fractal high that happened today. Remember that fractal high is not confirmed until this candle completed, which it did. All right. Then I would need to look for a way to jump in on a sell. And to do that, that might be why I would go down to the M5 or the M1 as long as they're all the same trend. So I'm on a downtrend on the H1. Let me come down to the M5. Actually, let me not skip. Let me go M30. M30, are we on a downtrend? Yes. M15, top down analysis. Yes. M5, yes. M1, no. Okay. M1 is a no. Not in a downtrend on the M1, but that's okay. If I was coming down from the H1 to get an entry, then the M1 might have given it to me, but I wouldn't have gone there, so I would have been looking. But we got it off of this M15 one that happened. Okay? So because we in there off of the M15 one, and I'm gonna zoom in so you can see where we're at in comparison. Okay? This is our entry right now. Price is just pulling back a little bit. It is what it is. Okay? Pulling back. But you got in here. This is where our little TP is. But we are at the 61.8. Everything is pointing to go into the zone. But we only going right here. That's fine. But we had a time of day for currency pairs. It's a little slow, but I got some pressure. I got my 5 crossing this 13. I got some pressure. So I feel like, we might be able to catch this the 10 pips. Like CB say, it might take a minute because things are slowing down. But it might be there. By the way, what you say, CB? You said that you shorten your take profit and you also shorten your stop loss.
Yeah, so instead of doing, let's, whatever your standard lot size would be for your account and going for 20 pips of the 40 stop loss, I've been more often doing 10 pips with, I'm using other things obviously for my stop loss, but let's just say a 20 stop loss unless I find a way to even tighten that up a little bit.
Okay. Okay. Cool. All right.
I just got a lot of
I see that. It's 10:45, a whole bunch of things. All right, I'm gonna go through the Q&A real quick. I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm 20 behind on a QA. You about to dip out of here, aren't you, CB?
I'm here for a little bit more. No, I'm good for a little bit longer.
Would you do me a favor, CB, while I'm running through these Q&As? Somebody's asking for G odd off the M5 on a W formation if it was forming. Would you be able to take a
Yep.
look at that?
Giad on the 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Eva's on the call too. Eva. Is there a video to learn about the time frames? I'm not sure what that question means, darling. Maybe can you rephrase that question? Because when you're asking about the time frames, um, each time frame is just signifying the candles that you see. The candles, if I'm on the H1 time frame, that means each candle is an hour long. So that's what the time frames mean. But I can tell you a great source is babypips.com. I'm going to type it to you, darling, so you have it. Babypips.com. This is what I started off with. And I went through their school of pipsology. It's free, has a lot of wealth of information in there. You go through preschool, kindergarten, elementary, and middle school. I mean, they have it broken down. So definitely start there. And if you are not familiar with utilizing MetaTrader 4, they also have a MetaTrader 4 section as well that you can go through and learn about the different functions in there. So that's babypips.com. Okay. Oh, thank you, George. Thank you, guys. Yeah, S&P is my favorite. Come on, yes, learn that fib. The reason why I stress, hey, Carlito, the reason why I stress the fib so much is because once you master it, and by the way, I was taught the fib by Al. So if any of you guys are early, get up early and catch the Hawkeye sessions, the technical analysis, that's where I got the MAs from. I'm always a student. I learned from Al, I learned from CB, I learned from Matt, I learned from Nate, I learned from Mr. Bobby Will, who taught me about, who created two of the daggone AIRO strategies. I am always a student and I observe and I listen what everybody tells me. It just takes it a while for it to click and then for me to execute it so that it works for me. So the way Al taught me the fib, he actually taught me with the fib expansion tool off of the M1 on S&P, right? Because I was murking S&P with AIRO when I was a part of the test group. And so I'm going through this really quickly because I'm trying to explain the fib and why it's so powerful. He taught it to me there. And I always say to Al, he does not know what he did when he taught me that fib. And he just didn't realize what monster he unleashed on these markets. Because once he taught that to me, and I saw how powerful it was to catch a retracement, it was game over. Just exactly what I showed you guys. That is me taking my knowledge of the fib and modifying it and doing something else. I wasn't taught to do the fib the way I just showed y'all. That was with my knowledge on there, right? But I always give credit to people who teach me stuff. So Al always going to get the credit for teaching me the fib. But with that being said, I didn't really dig the expansion tool that he taught me. So I went to the retracement tool, which is what I'm showing you guys. Okay? Learn the fib because what I use here in Forex, I use in binary options. I use in stock options trading. The fib works on all charts. Anybody that got a candlestick, anything like that with price movement, fib works.
Hey,
Just
Jackie.
oh, absolutely. Sorry, CB, I'm on a roll.
No, I'm sorry to jump in, but so quick, I did look at Giad. I'm not interested in that one. But before, and we can go back and look at that real quick, but just take a look at Bitcoin again real quick on the 5 minute.
Oh, okay. Bitcoin on the 5 minute. Is that what Ernest is talking about? He missed Bitcoin?
I don't know. It's still there. It's still valid right now. I just want to get your opinion on it.
Oh.
It's a valid bag entry.
Oh, it is a valid bag entry. Let me see. Down. We're all going down on all the time frames?
I
No.
didn't look at I just looked at the 5 minute. I
Oh,
didn't go down to the 1 minute.
no. 1 minute is an uptrend, and then 15 is going
Yeah, I
down
think
too.
everything else is going to be down. It had been anyway. Yeah,
Yeah, it is going down. You know what? That might be a nice trend to get in. That might be a nice one to get in.
got a lot of room.
Got a lot of room. You know what?
It just broke down below the 200.
It did, didn't it? I'm looking at it. Okay.
What do you think?
Let me see what this thing. Let
I
me
want to
see what
see
it
your
does when it
analysis real
closes.
quick.
Let me see what it does when it. Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. Let me. This will be better for me. Hold on. Let me do this. Put my fib on. We got some time. Hold on. Let me put my fib on and see what's going on. Let me monitor this. Okay. I don't like it that it's ranging right
Yeah,
off the bat on the H1. I don't like
yeah,
that. Not at all. I feel like if that thing decides to turn around on us and go back up, we're going to be in some trouble.
yeah.
I don't like it that it's ranging. But here is, let me draw it. So, okay.
It is
Where's
kind
the
of
move?
bouncing off the 200 on the 5 minute also right now. So
Yeah, I'm not
that's
cool
why.
with
So
it.
I was hesitant too.
Hmm.
But the arrow MA is above the 200 right now. So that's not, we'd like to see it come down a bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking at the H1 too. I'm looking at that move. This move is ranging. I mean, it hit the 61.8 off of the H1, and let me zoom in a little bit more so everybody can see what I'm talking about. I mean, this is I don't like that. I mean, it's like when it's these two zones, it's in. So I really don't trust this fib because this isn't really a move.
Right.
Okay, it just happens to stay under the arrow MA. So I really don't like this move off the H1. So I feel like I can't confidently say anything about that Bitcoin one because if I can't see it off the H1 to see what it's doing, then I'm not confident on what I'll see on the lower time frame either. But that's just me. Let me see. Let me check. Oh, good. This was the move, boy. Yeah, this is Saturday night. This move was beautiful. This move was beautiful. I gotta go over it. Can I just, so right now, I would actually not take that Bitcoin train, me personally.
Yeah, I'm not either. So
Mm. I'm gonna just go through this Bitcoin thing for this because this thing was beautiful. And shout out to Corey, by the way, because Corey is like the Bitcoin fiend, okay, and chef too. But I saw this. I just happened to draw my fib Friday, right? And I was like, okay, well, it ain't really doing anything. Let me just see what it's doing. It kind of hanged out and it kind of broke down. So all I said was, it's like, all right, let me just see what price is going to do because it looks like it's going down. So this was Friday. And I said, okay, when I saw that, I said, let me see. This is the fib for the day previously. This is Thursday's fib, right? Came down to the low. Price closed above it here. Let me zoom in so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Because you're like, what is she doing? I'm trying to show y'all what that daggone thing did. Oh, it's so close. Never mind. I might not be able to get it in. Um, come here, Jack. Come on, come on, come on. Where'd it go? It's like I'm really in, but not too in. There it go. There it is. Come on, fib. Okay. Where'd it go? I can't find it now. I can't find it now. Never mind. I'll probably do it later. But there we go. Yeah, yeah. So it came back. It's a downtrend here. It came back and it went to 78.6, right? So I said, oh, it might not restart its downtrend. But then Friday afternoon, I saw it dropping. Oh, we about to hit TP on that UJ. And I saw it started dropping and I said, you know what? It may not be an arrow fib strategy, but it's a fib strategy. And this is why I'm telling you, knowing your fib is powerful. So I just drew my fib for that downtrend. And then I saw that it um, pulled back to this 38.2 right here. And then it started dropping. So when I saw that pull back, I jumped down to the M1 because I saw everything was dropping. And I immediately started drawing downward fibs and catching that entire Bitcoin, just about that Bitcoin move, 3,300 pips of it. That's how I did it. So I just wanted you guys to know it may not necessarily be like a based off of a strat 8, but if you know recognize fibs, you can be able to try and catch a trade no matter what. That's what I was trying to tell y'all. So long story short to get there. So yeah, TP, hey, you better close out. Why I didn't close out? I hit my TP. I went 10 pips.
I got mine.
You got yours. Well,
I'm
you
out.
I heard you manually close yours. There, it should be hitting me. It's
There it
11
is.
pips. There we go.
There it is.
Yay!
All right.
Good job, CB, with the
Good
call out.
trade. Good trade. That was an easy one too. No
That was a
drawdown at
nice little
all.
easy one. Good,
You know,
good deal.
gotta love those.
Oh, it might be going to the zone. We'll see. That's interesting. I like that.
Can't get greedy, right? Take your
No,
pips and
don't get
run.
greedy. I like that you brought that up though, CB, because you know I don't pay attention to the currency pairs. So with that
Yeah.
being said, just cutting it in half, that's nice. I like that.
Yeah, I don't know how Nate feels about that because you are gonna then tighten up your stop losses.
Mm-hmm.
That would be my concern is, is it gonna still be, 80% or
Mm-hmm.
so? And but yeah, it's been working pretty good for me. I know Al's been doing that a lot too.
Okay. I'm just gonna keep it on here just to see if it actually does hit the zone, because the zone was 20, a little bit about 20 pips, I think.
Right. It was
So
like, yeah, it was when the entry point was around 20 pips. Yeah.
so I'm just curious if it actually hits it or not. But hey, can't go broke taking profit.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right, I'm gonna hop over to my GJ real quick. And we at the 55th line, y'all. Off this M15. It's looking pretty saucy. I like it. So remember, I said patience, you guys. Patience. Take the trades responsibly. And the reason why I zoomed in, remember that candle? And it was like turning bullish. And it was like, looked like it was almost like an engulfing thing. And I said, nope, not yet. And then that fractal came, and then this confirmed the fractal, right? But then this was bearish. This entire candle was bearish, confirming a fractal low. I would prefer it going up. And since it didn't, I'm glad I did not jump into that. I see this pressure. These MAs is showing downward pressure, and they're getting bigger. The space between them. Don't jump into trades just based on what it looked like it could do. Have some confirmations behind you. Okay? So that way, that's all that trading is. Trading is not gambling. Okay? It is not. It is an informed risk. Keyword informed. Okay. So GJ is looking beautiful. I don't care how far back. I want it to come to the 61.8. That's the golden line. If you go into 61.8, come on, y'all. Measure the pips. Let it come down here. Catch a trade right around there to go back up. And let's say we just go into the zone. That middle number, 121 pips. And if it stops right here on the 68, your stop loss is right here. The fib level below. 37 pips. If that works out, I'm risking 37 pips to make 121. That's the power of the fib.
You see what your S&P did?
What did it do? Did it go out the sky?
It dumped.
Oh, it dumped. Oh, I see it. Look at those railway tracks. And it hit that 78.6.
Yep.
That's cool. I like it. Well, now wait a minute. I like that. See, and you know what? If I would have just saw that arrow, I would have been like, I can't take that trade. Remember how I kept getting into that situation?
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, fractal breakout. I could take that trade. But oh, that's engulfing. I see it melted, but it hit that 78.6 from the H1. So we're gonna see. GCAD. I got buys on GCAD, buys on GAUD. Okay.
I'll look at GCAT. I don't know why I didn't get that one.
It could be my broker.
I think we're the same. You're Envy, aren't you?
Yeah, I am on Envy. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, there it is. Mine didn't populate, but it's stuck in a range. That's not going to do anything.
Yeah, it sure
We're not
is.
touching. We're not touching that one.
Mm-mm.
We'll let Neo deal with that later,
Yeah,
right?
seriously. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. Watch when we get to it, and you're like, "Sell."
Yeah, Neo owes us a little bit, Jackie.
Yeah.
He'd been playing so nicely, and then he got angry last week.
Yeah, he totally did. He totally did. And I said, "Well, you know,
It is what it is.
it is what it is. But as long as we manage proper risk, we should be good."
Yep.
That's what I did. So GCAT is a no go on the M15, but I got two pop ups. GCAT off the M30 as well. All up in that zone. So no, thank you. Okay, but you know what? Let me. Oh, you gonna look at GR for me real quick, CB? I'm gonna just check the
Sure.
Q&A real quick.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I
you
already
guys.
did before.
Oh, okay. Oh, we did. Yes, that's right.
Yeah, and I'll just comment that when I did, there was a resistance in the way, and then it actually blew the resistance out of the water. But I didn't, I don't really trade off the M5 with the 4X pairs. So the M15 didn't quite bounce off of support, so
Mm-hmm.
stayed away from that one. It would have been a winning trade as it turned out, by the way, but now it's coming back.
Mm. Okay.
So you
Alrighty.
got green, on Giada yourself right now. I see. Am I seeing the same?
Yeah.
Let me see that.
Mm-hmm. I
Oh
put
yeah,
it on.
yeah. So you can see though it's not tight. It didn't bounce.
Yeah,
It
I don't
didn't
have a
bounce off
bounce.
support. That's why I didn't bring it up. It didn't hit the yeah.
Ah, but
And
it's in a downtrend.
yeah,
GR's in a downtrend. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, wait a minute. I think this is a 78.6 retracement. Let me see. Yep. Dang, I called that.
yeah, yeah.
Saw that thing. Like, oh, yeah, that's not a strat 8 in play for me. So, no thank you on that. But that doesn't mean it ain't going to turn around and come back down. I just can't use strat 8 on it. But let me check on the H1. What are we doing on the H1? Yep. Whew. Good Lord. We're on a downtrend. One, two, three, four, five. One, two, three. Yeah. So, yeah, it's a 78.6 for that. And I think this is the same move that I saw on the M15, just shown on the H1. But if I do that, high, low, yep, same move. So it might pull back or it might just take off for the stratosphere and destroy that zone. So interesting. How many days is this? One, two, 2 day push up. We might get a third day push up and then turn around and go back and follow the trend. That'll be interesting on GR. So if GR is going down, what was the other one we were looking at? GCAT as well. I'll look at it in just a second. I'm getting off track. Hold on. Let me check the Q&A real quick. G Chef and GBPY bullish engulfing. Sorry, Steve. I know it's a half hour behind on stuff. I'm sorry. But since we talked about GJ and GJ had that bullish engulfing and turned out not to be good, so that's why I ignored that one. So that's okay. Sandy and Zindy on the 15, you said there was no bounce. Okay. I don't know what SAT is, Ernest. What's that? Oh, thank you, Danielle. I appreciate that. It makes me feel better. I try to make sure that on these calls, if we can get a trade, we take a trade. But like I said, I don't want to jump into anything because I'm trading my live account too. you know, I don't like to lose. so I want to make sure if it's in a trade that I'm going to take on my live account, that y'all going to take it too. You know what I mean? Um, let's see here. So yeah, I believe this is recorded, so it is going to be uploaded on YouTube. And so, if you're following the AIRO announcement channel, They usually post in there when the recordings are available, and you'll be able to catch it there. Um, Oh, you missed the Saturday Bitcoin. Okay, Ernest. Okay, I know. I don't need, I'm gonna just be straight up with y'all. Y'all already know. For those of y'all that do know me anyway, I am not a crypto trader. I just happened to see something based off my fib, and Bitcoin played right into my hands. That's kind of how that worked. I don't know if I can necessarily replicate that, but again, shout out to my guy Corey. He always on Bitcoin, and I confirmed with him. He said that the weekends Bitcoin be live, so I might just
Yep.
hop in again Saturday night.
Oh yeah, that's when I
uh,
trade.
there you go, CB. See,
Yep.
CB say the same.
Yep.
Uh, G Chef, is it too late to jump into G Chef? Let me see. Let me see. G Chef. That is on my. I don't have anything with G Chef,
If
so.
there's a move, yeah, it's we'd be
Ooh.
chasing that one pretty bad though.
I ain't chasing that. No, no.
That was in a
And
nice spot earlier though.
yeah, what
It
time did
three
this
four
come?
about 4 hours ago. That was during the London session.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's before our time. Yeah, I ain't chasing that, y'all. Let's not chase that. But what you can do, what you
Throw
can
the
do is
fibs out.
throw the fibs out. That's what you in. Catch the retracement. That's what you do. Let's see. On the M15, we're on a downtrend. Let me just look. Hold on. H1 even, and it looks like it's pulling a downtrend from there. So you might be able to catch it when the H1 alert comes, which will probably happen at noon, maybe. See, sometimes these alerts don't come, and I know sometimes we wait for them, but they don't come for a reason. So if that down arrow alert don't come, it could be that all of it's not meant to come. It ain't supposed to be there. Maybe price is getting ready to turn around and it just saved you. So I wouldn't always necessarily just bide your time for an alert, but I will say this, I like them. I usually trade bag entry alerts off the H1. So you can, but since both zones are even, it may not come. But the H1, let me look at the daily too. I do everything. So on a daily, we got even zones. Interesting. We got an uptrend on the H4, even zones on the H1, downtrend on the M30. See, top down analysis. 3, downtrend on M15, uptrend on M5. Oops, see, G Chef already. I got too many zones, too many time frames that's not matching. That speaks to what you were saying, CB, about the ranging type thing.
Yep.
Um, and I guess you can see the ranging right here. All that. And then it did a breakout. So that's what this is. This is a breakout. So we'll see what happens there. But I would not chase GSF right now. And then lastly, but not least, Mr. Julian said that US 30 is about to break the money zone. Did it, Julian? Did it? Let me go check and see. Let me see. I see dollar yen did not touch that zone. So it's a good thing we did hit that 10 pip and dip. let me um let me get my US
Hey Jack,
30
I
on
gotta
here.
step away for 1 second. I'll be right. I'll be back though.
Oh, no problem, no problem at all.
Thanks.
Let's see here. US 30. I'm not trading it, but I'll speak on it. Um it's about to break the money zone. Put it on the M15. Did it break the money zone at all today? Is this the first time? Let me see. Oh, it broke the money zone of yesterday, but the low of it. Um, we're on an uptrend. So I would not have took that as a, excuse me, sorry guys, my voice. I would not have took that as a strat for a breakout because we're on an uptrend on the time frames, M15 and above. The M5, it is on a downtrend, but I don't necessarily trade money zone breakouts off of the M5. However, Julian, that is something that might need to be tested now. because I wonder if indices, it actually is different. Good point. So shout out to you for bringing that out. That might be something I have to continue to test after 100 trades. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll do US 30 off of the M5. And based on the M5 time frame money zone, how many times out of 100 is it successful? If it's 80% or higher, we might be onto something. But that's how I took that. Okay. I see. Thank you for this. Thank you for this. I'm just starting and learning a lot just from this session. Oh, you're very welcome. Oh, you're very welcome. I'm happy about that. I'm glad you are. I just don't want y'all to be intimidated. Don't be intimidated with trading. It's actually very much fun. I love trading. That's all I do. I have other streams of income, but majority of it comes from trading. So that's why when you see me mad that I lost a trade, I'm very mad because I don't like to lose, and that's my money I'm losing. you know. So excuse me. Sorry about that, you guys. It's just allergies, by the way. That's why I lost my voice. Bad allergies. Weather change here. But that's how I feel about US 30. Now I'm gonna get US 30 off my chart because I don't want to be tempted. But that Bitcoin ranging, can't talk to Bitcoin right now. GJ almost tagged to 61 on the way back up. Okay, let's take a look at GJ. There we go. I got pressure. I got lots of pressure. So it's 11:11. We about to hit the 11:15 candle. I got lots of pressure, and look at that. My 5 is about to touch this 200, showing I still got some down pressure, boy. Come on down to that 61. Let me look at what price action is doing on the M1. So this is the M1. Let me move that up so I can see that a little bit better. It's the M1. Here we go. I like to see everything nice and clear. All right, that's the M1, and that's that pullback. Not necessarily pullback, but let me make sure what's the trend on this time frame. Down, down, down. So M15 is up, M1 is down, M5 is down. Yep, M5 is down. So price action is telling me we still going down, down, down. Um, you know what? Let me see if there's a strat 8 on this trading this pullback. Mark off the chart. Let's go. 38.2. Let me change my color. I'm doing it off of the M15. There we go. All I care about is the 38.2, the 50, and the 61.8, 78.6. Change it that other color, green. Okay, now I can get my fib off. This M15. It's on the uptrend. Let me confirm the H1. It was also on the uptrend before I just arbitrarily start doing stuff. Yep, H1 was on uptrend. So let me just go back. Make sure top down, up, 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 up. And then these two are down. Okay, so that being said, let's go to the M1. Be down in here. Where's my move for the day? Let me zoom out. New day started. We got up, came down, went up, downtrend started. Let's go right here. Give me a second, y'all, because I'm gonna set this up. I feel like we might be able to do another setup for another trade off the M1. So I always go back to the beginning of the very first move of the day so I can see where this down started. So it's above the arrow MA, below the arrow MA. Start drawing your fib. Top, lowest point it closed below before it got closed above again. Here. Yep, here. Okay? That's that move. It pulled back, pulled back, pulled back. It did not hit the 61.8, so it touched the 50. All right. Now, this is just trading a pullback. And this is also going to prove the inverse thing, but I don't do the inverse when I'm on. I only trade the inverse if all the time frames are following the same trend. I'm just looking in the Q&A. GJ should be reversing, super strong. Okay, cool, nice, got y'all. So let's see here. All right, if it's reversing, that's cool. You'll be able to see it here too. So it came back to that 50, okay, and it made its move. It came down and it hit zero, but it took a while to hit zero. It came down and then it kind of ranged and then broke out. All right, and it hit zero. Now let's see where it went after it went to zero. See, look how far back it came down, pulled back, came down, touched the 50 right here. TP, inverse, strategy 8, just proved it. All right, just proved it. It came back, 50. If you would have held it down to that negative 50, right here, if you would have held it, if you would have caught it. So you had a fractal high, dot confirmed until this candle comes down, and then you had this big strong move down. I probably wouldn't even have gotten into there. I probably would have got in around here with this cross. So I would have been like 2 levels down, fib levels down anyway. But it broke that one. So it could have gotten somewhere between the 50 and the 38.2. All right. So just say that got in like right around the 38.2. Even if you would have went down to the 50, that's a 35 pip move. Just off the fib level, off the M1, 35 pips. Now, what I'm looking for is this move here. See? Look how that faked out on us. This is why you got to make sure you draw your fibs and it's valid before you take your trade. Let me get rid of that fib. Close it. Why didn't you get rid of it? Do I have two? Because I had two on here. That's why I think I got rid of something else. Objects. Wait a minute. There it is. All right. Let's start this up. Okay. So this fib is not valid yet until price closes above the arrow in May again. And since it did not do so, the fib is not valid until it does. Okay? But you want to maybe move it back a bit. This is how I did Bitcoin, by the way, too. I just came down to the M1, drew that fib, high, low, and then I just waited. If it made a new low, I just brought my low lower. And then once it crossed above and I know everything's going down, just waited for the trend to happen, catch my sell just like what we did with S&P, follow it down. That's what I did off of the M1. That's why I came down to the M1 here to see if it was going to give me another one to come back down again. But it didn't. It faked out right here. It said, nope, psych, we're not doing that, and we're going to just go ahead down. Now, what this could be doing, though, is formulating a possible W on the M1 to signify I want to go back up again. Because if you look, this is that 61.8 from off of the M15. Okay, so 38.2, 50, 61.8. It might be giving us a little move to go back up again, especially if you guys saying it's exhausting itself. Oh, how do you erase your fibs and redo? Easiest way to do it is right click anywhere on your chart, go to objects list because the fib is the object. Click on object and then look in your object, scroll down if you can, and all you got to do is find Fibo. Mine is right here. Highlight it, check it, delete, and it's gone. And then you can redraw it again. Alrighty, just gonna check the chat. If there's anything that you guys wanted me to see, put it in the Q&A. Okay, UJ smashed your TP. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. So UJ caught that rest of that then. Okay, nice. So it did go for the 20 pips. That's cool. I don't necessarily trade currency pairs often, so I will utilize what is being said here. This is you, Jay. Oh, maybe it smashed the 10 pip TP or what? Because it looks like it's stalling right here. I don't think it went to 20 pips, but let me know, y'all. Okay. So, okay. I'll look at oil, my dear. I'm looking at it. Everybody. Um, y'all, I'm only checking the chat because I ain't have nothing in the Q&A, but I'm gonna miss it a lot if you guys don't put it in the Q&A for me. So let me go. Yeah, GJ looking beautiful. Let it come back down. Now GU wants to move. There you go. Let all these GBP pairs move. Please. Oh yeah, let me throw oil on there. I had not had oil for a minute, only because it was like doing a really strong move and it was hard for me to catch any retracements off of it. So oil was put in timeout, as my guy Lex would say. Put things on timeout when they don't want to act right. Uh, well, oil. Mm, let's see here. Ooh, off the M15, close below the 200. Well, look at that melt. What you looking like on H1? Ooh, we are on an uptrend. I know we are, right? We still on an uptrend. Yep, from the daily. Oh, wait a minute. Was that three or two? Okay, three. Yeah. Okay, still on an uptrend. All right, we good. Ooh, H1 down. We are in retracement. Okay, we are in retracement from this uptrend. Let me check this on M1 down. Oh, snap. This is getting stronger. Stops right here. Okay, it's getting stronger though. All right, so stops at the M15. If it turns the M15 into a downtrend, there might be something there. Might be something there. H1 is already on a downtrend. This is really super strong support though. Really super, super strong. Interesting. Okay. All right, Deborah. Thanks for good looking out there. Good looking out. Um, we had this range and then it broke out. It might be coming back down again. Not too shabby. Look at that H4. Deborah, did you just show me something? Hold on. Fib. Let's see here. Hmm. Hmm. Interesting. I might leave that there for oil. The only reason why I did that is because oil is typically on a uptrend and it could be like that for months, as you can see, after a breakout. So, um, you know, months, consolidation, breakout. And then if it wants to break out to the downside, months, oil will trend for quite a bit, quite a long time. So I was curious if Deborah just put that out in my feelers here. You might be having me catch a swing trade for quite some time. So I'll take a look at that longer. Thank you, dear. Um, okay, darling, let me see. Asking this right. But when I take a trade, can I can I show how to take half profits? Like I'm in a trade and I want to take some profits, but keep your trade. Oh yeah, sure. I could do that. Let me see. If I get into a trade prior to, I will, because I'm on my live account, Gianni. But one way to do that is you don't have a 71 area on your fib. It goes from 61.8 to 100, but you have a 71 in between those. Yeah, I do. So I will show how to do the fib, and then I'll show how to do take profits. Mm, yeah, it sure has. Look at that. This is a beautiful move, though. I mean, here's the thing. This is off the daily, and then I'll show the fib thing, and I can show it here because I'm drawing it. Here's the daily, right? And this is a valid fib because this is the lowest point, price closed below the arrow MA, and then up, this is the highest point, and then price closed below the arrow MA right here. Okay? So this move is valid for you to measure a pullback. But I can tell you, looking at this is all the 23.6 fib line right here. That's not really necessarily a valid pullback to me. And Nate doesn't show that either on his fib lines. Okay? 23.6 ain't really a pullback. It's usually just like maybe like a consolidation period type thing that I normally see, and it'll just hang around there and then break out. And it either will break out towards the regular trend or break out to the downside and continue its pullback. That's what I normally see. Okay. But so I'm actually looking at this, and if gold is on a melt, I mean, not gold, goodness, oil is on a melt, I think I see this support zone possibly being obliterated for sure. And the only reason why I would say that is we had this MA cross here signifying this this move, right? But I think it's going to get even more powerful if this thing, all three, or excuse me, all three, including the arrow MA, cross over that 62. Then this support zone is gone. And then probably will come down to this 50 and then turn around and go back up again. So shout out to y'all for bringing oil back to my attention because I'm going to leave this on my chart now. And I got to tell you, that oil trade is going to be lovely if it comes to this 200. And I'm going to the zone. Whoo! That middle number is actually 101,466 pips. That's how that works on oil. That'll be nice. Thank you. um. Oh, so to add your fib level, you're going to right click on your fib if you can. Right click on the fib properties, and here's your levels. Fibo levels tab. Here's your levels. You're going to add, and let's say you want to put 78.6 is what it is. You would click add. You would make it fill in just the way you see here. 0.786 for the positive, and then it's 78.6. And then for the negative, negative 0.786, negative 78.6. So for instance, I want to see that that's actually 23.6 that it pulled back to. So it's 0.236 positive, 23.6 positive, enter, okay. There's my new fit level. And what did I say? Playing around in that 23.6. Once you start mastering the fib, you'll be able to see once you draw it what's missing and where things are playing at, like I just been able to do. I'll leave it on here for right now, but I really don't pay attention to that fib level too much. But that's how you add it. And then for take profits, if I can get into a trade, I can show you. But since I'm in my live account, I'm kind of hesitating to do that. But I think I do have a video that shows you how to do take profit. So Jayani, DM me, and if I don't have one already done, I can show you how to do it. Okay, I'll do a video for you, but just DM me to remind me, because I'm not gonna remember after this call, because I swear I'm probably gonna have a bunch of people DMing me. All right, so this is GJ then, and this is GJ following. Remember, I did these off of the M15. These are the M15 fib levels, which is what I'm on. But I went down to a lower fib level thinking I was going to be able to try and jump in a little sooner. All right, but it's pulling back. Um, yeah, we got this right off of the 61.8. Look like it might be coming up. I'll wait, especially since it's like 11:30. I don't really know how much movement we really got. All right, so I'll do that. Is there an M on H4 on oil? Yeah, Paresh. It looked like it, but I wasn't really for sure, especially since we on an uptrend. Um, let me see. Sandy, you got a Tesla sell on the M5? Okay. Let me see here. Are stocks safer than indices? I wouldn't necessarily say they're safer. I think it's just depending on whether or not you can handle the drawdown on them is what I think. We got a buy on GZ. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say they're safer, but it just depends on your tolerance, I would say, because like with Tesla or Amazon, you could be in some drawdown that could hurt. What was that? I think that was GN that said that. So that was a buy. I got a bounce. Nope, invalid. Invalid. Okay, so this is invalid not because I don't have no bounce. It's invalid because I have this down arrow right here interrupting my bounce. Okay, this ain't about, even if this thing does go here, doesn't matter. This is invalid. Bounce arrow go. Not a bag entry. You can probably try and get in it for something else, and it's like 20 pips to the zone. You know, so if you could find another way to get in there, you could. But that does look like a W that got planted too. So let me see. Oh, you don't have to raise your hand if you could just put it in the Q&A and I can get to it. Let me see. We're in a downtrend now. That could be a fake out. So you really can't take that because it's an up arrow and you're in a downtrend. And I think let me see. I'm gonna draw my fib on that though because I don't think this is. No, it's not gonna be valid because I was trying to see if it was gonna be a valid fib level, but it's not because it's really close. Well, let's check. Up
I'm back,
above.
Jackie.
Hey CB, I'm just looking. It came to the
Yep.
50 and then it stopped, hit 0, and then it pulled back again. The zone being in my way. It's annoying. It's annoying.
So hey, Jackie, just
Yeah,
almost for my own edification, when I'm looking at, you know how you said it was an invalid bag entry on the 15-minute for the pound kiwi there?
yeah, yeah.
I would argue it is valid. And the reason
Hmm.
I would, and you tell me, I might be wrong, but that
Oh, you mean
down
because of
arrow
this?
does touch. Yeah, it does touch,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Okay, I just now saw it when you said it.
Okay, I just want to make sure I'm not trying to cause trouble with you.
No, 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 no. I actually just when you said that.
I'm teasing. I'm
Oh,
teasing.
I've
Yeah,
just now seen it. Oh, you absolutely right. It sure did touch. That is
now
valid.
it's too close to the resistance zone there to be a valid entry,
No,
but
it was at the time though. Like if I would have
yeah,
caught it, like right
yeah.
now,
How many pits is that?
it's
Yeah,
20.
it's
But
it's tight. Yep.
wait a minute. But we're in a downtrend.
Yeah, right,
There
right,
you
right.
go.
It was
Not.
more just more about just agreeing that if it touches, even though there's a down arrow on that candle, it did touch.
Yes.
So that part of the validation would be okay,
Right.
but
Yes.
wrong, but yeah, counter trend though.
You're right. Absolutely. I
Yep.
saw that as soon as you said it. I said, "Oh yes, that would be correct." You're right.
Yep. Just checking.
Got you. Not a problem. See, that's teamwork. Make the dream work. CB.
Yeah. Yeah. Just don't want to confuse people just in case.
Yes, you're right. You're right. Because that could happen. Um. Okay. So Euro odd H1 bag. Really? You got that CB? Can you take a look at that?
Euro the 1 hour
Yeah.
euro huh.
And Paresh, you was asking for it on
Yeah, there
daily.
isn't my so that one is exactly what we were just talking about. Why don't you just bring that up just to show the
Okay.
euro og? So that one is sort of you were just talking about the interruption
Mm.
with the arrows. So this
Okay.
one is, as far as a strat 2 swing trade on the H1, it would be invalidated because you got a downward arrow in the middle of that if you look at it.
Okay. Okay. Yes, you have a down arrow interrupting it, and I have nothing from a zone too.
That's what I mean, right? So you
Mm.
never get to the, you were at the zone earlier when you have
Right
that
here.
down arrow in the middle of the two upward arrows to
Mm.
invalidate the strat 2, right?
Yeah, this thing going to the moon though.
Yeah,
If
it's
Euro's
funny.
going to,
It's still interesting to look at. Look how much room you have too. I mean,
yeah, it's
this
going
is
to the
still
moon.
tempting.
Well, that's the end of a W, it looks like, too.
Yep.
Yep.
So that yellow line is the 5-minute MA.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool because it paints the W right for you without having to manually do it.
Mm-hmm. And that interesting. Interesting. Well, if your art is going up, does that mean my G's are dropping? Yep.
Sure.
Except for GZ. GN decides to do what it wants to do when it wants to do. I think I even heard Nate say that at one time. GN does what it wants to do when it wants to do and not follow anything else. But GJ is beautiful. This is optimal setup right here. I love it.
Yeah,
Now,
the yen is the strongest currency right now strength on the strength
mm,
meter.
you know what? What strength meter do you have? CB, would you mind sending that to me? Because
Yep.
I don't think I have it.
Well, the one I have I have one on my phone. Like I'll just say it for everybody because I someone else asked me this before. So I have one on my phone that I like way better. It's called Currency Heat Wave. It's an app.
Currency heat wave.
Yeah, you
Okay.
can get that, on the iPhones or the Android. Currency Heat Wave. I love the Currency Heat Wave. And
Mm-hmm.
then there's also just livecharts.co.uk,
Okay.
which gives you a mini version. But Currency Heatwave, if there's a premium version that gives you more to look at. So you do have to pay like $3 or something like that to
Mm-hmm.
open up the premium, but it's really powerful.
Oh, okay. I said by FX Labs Plus is what it looks like. I'm downloading it right now.
Yeah, it's got the icons like a little
Yep,
fire circle thing. Yep. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm
check that one
downloading
out.
it right now.
It's pretty good.
Thank you, CB.
Yep.
Excellent. Alrighty. So let's see here. So GJ, after it made that monster push yesterday, I think I even saw that some people actually beat funded account challenges based off that push. It was nice. Um, let's see what we can do here. That's kind of what I'm looking for. See if I can finish a challenge based off of that. GU and GJ. I actually was not paying it. Oh, youth. GU is like playing. It just barely nicked my 38.2. Barely nicked it. Like really, really close. You better come back down and touch it. So it could be valid and give me my setup. Um what was I saying? Oh yeah. So anyway, GJ. Thank you, Paresh. You guys are awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So Paresh put that in the chat. And then Gilad got the same thing. Okay, thank you, currency strength meters. I appreciate that, y'all. So Wilfredo, we just did that Euro art. Hopefully that answers your question. I'm gonna see, like I said, Gianni, go ahead and DM me, and I'll see if I can do a video for you just to remind me to show you how to take partial profits. Um, and to see how many time frames do I use when counting up and down trends to use strategy 8. I use any time frame, but I'm following the trend. So for instance, on GU, I start with the daily because it's basically like a form of top-down analysis. Okay, it's not so in depth as others. Like Bobby Will is really good about that. Really, really like his videos because he kind of does the work for me sometimes when he when his videos. But I go to the daily, I zoom out, I'm on an uptrend, and then I'm just looking at each time frame below to make sure that we all on the same trend. So the H4 was on an uptrend, but the but as I'm zoomed out, the H1 is not. It's on a downtrend. Okay. So with the H1 being on a downtrend, and we might get a GU H1 bag entry alert. You see this? Oh, I'm so glad I looked at this. You see this? You might get a GU bag entry alert going down, and it would be valid because the H1 is on a downtrend.
Yep.
You know, because I count three red to two green. Now here's the M30. M30 is on an uptrend. Why is it on an uptrend? Because it is massive W that got completed. Yesterday, all that. Um, it's just looking like that to me and this is GU by the way. So I'm looking at that. H1 giving me a valid downtrend bag entry, even though the lower time frames are uptrends. That's interesting. It's the only one that's opposite. Yep, it's the only one. Oh, besides the M1, but the M1 is more about like price action and stuff like that. What is price actually doing? So I'm gonna be very curious to see. I might actually take this down arrow H1 alert because I'm following the trend of the H1, thinking that I am actually possibly trading the trend on this daily. But now that I look at this daily, see how the daily's coming off of this, going up, and look at that. It looked like a W to me off of the daily too. I don't know. I might not take that H1 bag. Not with that looking like that. Mm-mm. No, we'll see at 12 o'clock what happens. But I feel like this thing about to shoot up again, y'all. I feel like that's exactly what's about to happen. This W might be finishing here. Um, okay, so that's my thought process on that and the time frames and stuff. And then it's 11:40, so the last question in the Q&A. My thoughts on Nasdaq. Let me put this back on the M15. Let me zoom back out. My thoughts on Nasdaq. So Nasdaq is for me looking like, make sure my grandkids is not calling. Well, the daycare. Sorry, just want to make sure. Okay. Yes, I have grandkids. What was it, Nas? You wanted me to look at? Okay, Nasdaq.
Hey, Jackie, let me just shout out too to Gilad for that FX book strength meter. That's way nicer than the other one I had online. I still love my app, my currency heat wave, but on the internet here, this is the nicest one I've seen. Nicest free relative currency strength meter that he has.
Oh, well,
It's really
thank you,
nice.
Gilad. It was in the chat.
Yeah, it's in the chat. It's the last thing on the chat right now. It gives you multiple time frames and just it gives you some really good detailed
Oh,
information.
FX Blue. Hey, got another
Yeah,
FX Blue fan. I'm
this is really nice.
just bringing it up. You guys can see it.
No,
Oh, you
we see
can't
your
see it.
we see your chart still right
Oh,
now.
because I had something else. My bad. Here, you can see it
There
now.
you go.
Oh,
Yeah, so click on the short term up there though. That's the long term, but click on short term for what we're doing.
okay.
So that now if you scroll down, it shows you 5, 15, and 1 hour, the strengths of each currency. It's pretty nice.
Oh,
Look at that yen, huh? Wow.
wow. Okay. And
Pretty cool, right?
these are just everything that's weak, right? It just
Yep,
shows how weak they are.
exactly.
Interesting. I'm always a student.
Yep.
Ooh, look at gold. Pretty strong.
Oh yeah, it's interesting. I didn't even notice they have gold in there. Yeah.
For all you gold peoples. Well, thank you, Gilad. Appreciate that.
Yeah, that's good.
So, hey, this is why we ignored Bitcoin. Don't know what it wants to do.
Yep.
And GBP is weakening, as you can see, which is what we're seeing. Boom, there it go.
Oh, and I guess you can customize it too, he's saying. So you can probably pick what you want to see and yeah, there's a custom tab. Click on that
Oh, right here.
custom tab. Yeah, I'm assuming you can just choose. There
Oh,
you go.
very nice.
Yep.
Very nice.
Cool
Cool
stuff.
beans.
Yep.
Thank you. Well, then, I'll just add that tool to the arsenal.
Yeah. Priority done.
Yeah, there we go. Teamwork makes the dream work, y'all. Um, let's see. Let me put NASDAQ on top of Euro odds since we're not looking at it. And what did you want me to look at on NASDAQ? Because right now that thing is melting out the sky. This thing is deteriorating. Like it ain't nobody's business. Um, this thing is so bad, it's getting ready to destroy this support zone here on the H1 if that thing goes back down again. I don't know if y'all can see it. Let me move it down. Can y'all see that? Let me zoom out so you can see a little bit better. Look at that. Ooh, that support zone is about to be obliterated. Interesting. I likes it. I likes it. I know people be like, they think I'm weird when I like things pulling back. I just like it pulling back because I like to catch to get in so I can follow the trend when it goes back the right direction. That's why I like it. But it's interesting that Nas did this today, but it didn't do it yesterday. It did a little bit yesterday, but then it kind of let a fake out and it came down again, right? So it's interesting because S&P and US 30 both did the same thing already and melted, and Nas was just the last one to do so. So that's naturally perfect for me because then that just tells me when it's time for them to turn around. Look at, oh, I got all this here. Wait a minute. So I caught that. We caught this because this is the fractal breakout. Came down, hit the 78.6. So the 78.6 was me drawing a fib for an uptrend off of the H1. But now that that thing came back and it's melting out the sky, it might be that it's signifying that downtrend is changing completely. So let me get rid of that. Wait, no, I don't want to get rid of that yet. Let me see here. I'm going to leave that there because it came back to the 50 and look at that. Y'all see that? That touched the negative 50. Mm, mm, mm. Ain't that some stuff? And we got in right here. Now, y'all know what that means to me. That means for the rest of the day, I'm staying on the M5 and I'm going to the inverse. That would have been 264 pips if I would have stayed in that. Yep. Looks like we staying on the M5 for the rest of the day because that feels like to me this trend has changed. What we doing on H1? Yep. Look at that melt. Mm-hmm. Okay, S&P and NAS. Destroy this. See, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4 uptrend. We trading the pullback. Trading the pullback. Okay. That's a strong pullback. It's gonna change. That's beautiful. Look at how long S&P has been going up, y'all. It's time for this pullback, and it's about to be a beauty. Let it obliterate all these support zones. Let it do so. I don't care. Just give me time to just ride it all the way down, and then when it turns around, we ride it back up again. That's what the Fizz is going to do for us. So let me get rid of all these lines because our trend is changing, and we're gonna go down to the M5, and here go my downtrend here, and we're gonna draw it for the downtrend. That's what it looked like. Yep. M15. Yep. I'm just looking. I'm just making sure. M15 is getting stronger. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This zone is about to be obliterated. So it's going to be 4 and 4. It's getting stronger and stronger coming down. Stronger and stronger. I like that. So I just drew my fib high above the AIRO MA. Here's the low right now. Let it come on back. Let it come on back. And then turn around and go down again. That's what we're going to look for. And let me actually just see what it looked like on the M1. Yep. I like this move. Here's what it is on the M1. So it's almost exactly right. It's just these are a little bit different, but this is the M5 fib being shown on the M1. And look at what it did here. It's moved back, closed above the AIRO MA here, but it's only at 23.6. So I drew a fib off the M5, and I'm coming down here to the M1, just like we were on the H1 and coming down to the M1 and the M5. I'm doing the same thing, but from a lower time frame to a lower time frame, because I want to see if I can catch the retracement still and ride this pullback as far as I can, because they melting. That's what I'm trying to do. So it's at 23.6. So what I'm going to do is, so I don't have so many fibs on my screen, mark them off. One. I'll change the colors later, but I'm only going to mark off what I care about. And then this too. This is always going to be a different color. And then get rid of that fib right there. And now go to the M1. Now, have my lines. Here's 38.2 to make this a valid pullback for me to actually take my trade off the M1. And all I'm looking for is something, and this is beautiful. You see this resistance zone right here, y'all? Let me get a fractal high off the resistance zone. Go. That would be beautiful. I like that. All right, so anyway, that's the setup for S&P right now, based on what you, and I got there from y'all telling me about NAS to look at NAS. So that's what it is. But NASDAQ, yeah, let the melt continue. Let the melt continue. Oof, man, that's beautiful. Here's NAS today. So really, if it starts downtrending like it did today, that beautiful melt that you can't really catch that melt unless you really looking for it. I'm just gonna throw that out there. All right, but if you were just doing a regular fib setup, you would just kind of measure it, and you see it pulls back enough, and then it came down again. That's all right. But this is your downtrend on NAS right here. High, low. Wait for it to pull back up, turn around, come down again. If it even touches this AIRO MA, you already know you at 50. Valid fib setup. Turn around and ride it back down again. Okay? All right. Excellent. Thank you, Sandy. Thank you very much, Sandy. All right. All right, you guys. It is 11:52. Thank you for you guys that stayed on the call. I feel like we did pretty good today. What do you think, CB? Uh-oh. If you there,
I'm here. I'm here.
oh,
I'm here. I was talking in my mute.
oh
Yeah,
no.
I think we're just about at the end here.
Yeah, I'm not seeing everything else is like resetting up for things, and
Had a couple wins though.
had a couple of wins. GJ looking real nice. I got a rejection, 2 rejections off the 61.8. Looking to turn around in my favor. As long as that maybe that currency strength meter says the same, that would be nice. You said for the short term, right? That's what we look for.
Yeah, well, it just, if you click short term, it's going to give you the 5 minute, 15 minute, and 1 hour. If you go to midterm, it goes to 34 hour and day in 1 day. So
Got you. Got you. I see
yeah,
it. There go 4, 5, 15, and H1. So
yeah,
those are turn. They're gonna turn. They're gonna turn.
yeah.
But of course, since it's G and then J is pretty strong, we'll see how that turns out. But that's excellent. Thank you guys for sharing that with me. I really appreciate that. I
The
got
S&P
my,
one, the S&P 1 minute just had an upward arrow, so that's good news. Keep pushing it
yeah,
back up.
push it back up. There you go, baby. Yes, it's gonna be exciting.
I'm gonna be watching. Yeah, that's S&P 500 and me are hanging out this afternoon for sure.
Absolutely. Here we go. All right, you guys. So I'm gonna just stop sharing my screen, or I'm gonna look at. Oh, you guys are awesome and welcome. Um, there you go. 25 pips on S&P. Only because again, I'm gonna just leave this with you guys. I was just very careful with S&P today because we're in pullback mode. But when we're in trend mode, it's curtains. you know, curtains. But I really thank and appreciate you guys. Thank you, CB, for joining.
Yeah, my
I
pleasure.
really
Thank you.
appreciate that. So I'll
Got it.
see everybody next week. on Tuesday, as long as my voice stays intact. Take care, everyone. Y'all take care. Be safe. Be blessed. Thank you.
Thanks, Jackie.
Bye.